What exactly is magic?
What he's saying is obviously there's going to be some sort of field or particle that you're creating that is interacting with the door to cause it to open.
It's like midi-chlorians, right?
Thought we'd talk about this.
It is Session 14, Psychotronic Hustle, Wholesale War. It is time for the recap, which has been a while, and I will do the recap. You guys were down on the surface of Infernum 4. We had a ship that was made of skulls. There were like crystals and stuff that grew out of the banks of the shore. They look like strange-looking trees. It was very cold. Lord Mars appropriately brought one box of popsicles to sustain him.
And no cold weather gear.
Correct.
So I assume he froze to death, which explains why he hasn't been that active.
Yes. Betty arrives with some ice cream and orders from Benji, who was your contact down here on the surface of the planet, to give to Captain Blackheart, which they mistakenly called and is actually Captain Blackjack. Ori finds a half-eaten bag of cosmic cool chips. There's only one person can get inside like the bridge area to steer. It's raining. You pass the person on the river who tells you your redemption is near, your death is near. Of course, you avoid him. As Lord Mars declares, this isn't a democracy. The river is black, murky, and murky pools of oil on the top, and debris float by. Hal Kraith is using the Diet Thunder gun to destroy shit. Then you run into the sirens. There is a lot of failed saves, some PvP. I believe, yeah, I know, that's exactly what it sounded like too. Lord Mars shot Ori and said, "This is going to hurt me the more it's going to hurt you." I think Ori went down and then ended up.
I think he said, "This is going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt me."
That sounds right.
Who's doing the recap here? Okay.
This will hurt you more than it hurts me.
Ends up at the pyramid, and that's when the guy in the cowboy hat helps you and drops Twinkies on you, or Tootsie Rolls. Betty forgot she had Die Hard and auto stabilizes, and that's when you continued down the river, ran into the fortune teller, who Hal Kraith, of course, destroyed her platform, and she fell into the almost fell into the water, and her orb rolled into the river, and she attempted to curse you, but you passed. And that's when Betty said, "Fuck you, you natives." Let's see here. You you found a ship from the Dirty Depths Mining, and you went inside, found a medical kit. Betty found the case of vodka. Ori found the casket that was floating in there, and the person was wearing a suit with a patch that was the Sindum symbol, a half-used bottle of Space Flexaseal, a portable charging station that you'll have to fix, and a bag of sand in a Ziploc bag. That's when the fortune teller appeared again, and then used a spiritual weapon, which was the Washington Monument. That's not the Washington Monument, and tried to hit you. And then Lord Mars told her to leave, and then she tried to leave, and then Hal Kraith, of course, destroyed her Washington monument. That's not the monument. And as she fell, she cursed you, and that time it worked, and you were turned into Nerf. Consults a book of procedures while rocking back and forth. He's bright orange with highlights of blue. He weighs about 12 pounds, but now he's weighing more because he's getting full of water because it's raining. Lord Mars takes the now frozen witch who ended up in the water with a gaff hook and starts cutting away and finds a couple items on her. That's when you went by the party and there was a spray paint inside and said, "Fuck corporate." They offered you some of Asmodeus's taint. Betty threw them a bottle of vodka. You did not stop. There was some people selling barter or trade, and they said that lemon-flavored bean beer cures everything. And Ori looked at Lord Mars and says, "Can you go any faster?" So, avoiding all that, you ran into, it got really quiet. Then there was a horrific gun battle. That's when Captain Blackjack showed up, landed on the deck. No shirt, covered in tattoos, faded red skin, hat and sunglasses. That's when we had the argument about the alicorn and the pegacorn, which unfortunately Lord Mars was misinformed about, since this is my recap. Betty conveniently forgot about the orders that she had for Captain Blackjack. That's when you flew away, and he whisked you guys all away, and then he noticed something on the surface and started to swoop down, and that's when I used the line, "Lobistas don't surf," and nobody seemed to care because they hadn't watched the movie in so long.
Charlie, don't surf!
After that, we pick it up with the rest of the various recaps. So I will start with the beginning of this one. As the pegacorns are flying down, Captain Blackjack tosses the Nerf form of Halcraith over to Betty, which I think she missed. And Lana caught Halcraith. And then there was a big boom, and then you all appeared in Pearl Shaw. And if somebody wants to pick up from there.
Well, honestly, at Pearl Shaw, not much happened. It was laid back, relaxing. Turns out that we found Lieutenant Dean and the Wolf Brigade there, which was a unit in Pearl Shaw, which was actually Lana's old unit. And this was a pre-skip in about 12 days before the biological weapons that would destroy the planet were used. And it turns out we might be time traveling, but we might not be time traveling, and it's very confusing. Anyway, then a bunch of things happened, and let's see here. We went ahead and discovered that there was a patrol going up into the mountains, and we decided to visit the armory. And we got some new swag, those of us who were there and who wanted. We started heading to the secret area that we believe Sindum was in the mountains, and we discovered a Gorn running away. His name was Jed, and he was very nice. And then we met a traveler who offered us gifts. And Lana got an action figure again. And what did Hellcraith get?
No, I actually forgot. And I looked at my character sheet. I
Hellcraith
didn't write it down.
You got the broom that has a light switch on it, like a light switch, and it turns
and then
into
it turns into fire, and I held it close.
Yeah, because it gives off heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you became stone again.
Yes, and Hellcraith was so thankful for that. Though it was brief.
Betty got a chicken that eats ammo and poops out grenades.
Yep.
And Jed Gorn got scat.
Hey, it was very nice scat. Do we know what animal it came from?
I'm not sure.
Okay. human scat. So we go ahead and we're looking around and we hear the scream of a Gorn who Judd claims is one of his friends, and we're like, oh, well, they might know something, and besides, we're going to help the Gorn out. And we go chasing, and we find Sindum with a up-armored pickup truck and a flamethrower. They quickly discover that flamethrowers don't do anything to Hellcraith, and we wind up killing them, and Hellcraith discovers that he likes flamethrowers. So we rip the seat out of the vehicle, but Hellcraith still can't get in, and we decide, okay, well, we're going to go up to the mountain in the vehicle. So we start making our way up there, trying to be sneaky after we unfortunately fail some stealth checks. We, of course, go into combat. The truck we're in goes right through the tunnel towards what is called Site 3, and Hellcraith gets locked out, but he gets to kill some people, so that makes him happy. We have Hellcraith then proceeds to smash down a door. Lana tries to run some people over. Betty starts shooting a flamethrower and gives a couple of grenades to the Gorn who are with us. We burst into the area where Site 3 is after tossing some demo packs out to destroy some vehicles, blow open the door, hop inside and discover this big pyramid with a bunch of Gorn slaves there. So we start getting in combat with the Gorn, with the Sindum guards who are there, and then it turns out that the pyramid has some weird crap going on. And there's some dude there with psychic power who just rips the scaffolding up and everyone goes falling to the ground. Lana goes ahead and goes to the top of the pyramid and somehow, we're not quite sure, utilizes the power of the pyramid to blow up the skeleton dude who's attacking us. Then the pyramid starts to change and it starts to move upwards. Some grenades are thrown. Hellcraith heads into the pyramid and starts beating the crap out of things there. Yeah, then we send it to space. Well, we don't, but it starts heading up to space. You have then all of the Gorn that Betty can get her hands on are given grenades, and most of them are terrible at throwing it, including one who throws a holy hand grenade into the pyramid. Lana realizes she has power here, and as Hellcraith goes to destroy the grenade like he did the nuke by beating it to death, Lana turns into a Jawa. The Jawa is killed. We get out of the pyramid. It rips open the top of the mountain and flies off into space. And then as we're trying to escape, we wind up back here with Ori on a surfboard.
Right. And Lana, when you drew from the Traveler's Bag, you got the
Action
Jed
figure.
Gorn action figure,
Yep.
which was unknown at the time, but Jed threw a grenade and skillfully, I think, killed one of the workers with a great throw, and that's how his greatness was revealed. So
There we are. Yep.
So yeah, you all return back to Infirmum 4 with 35 Gorn, Betty, and the grenade pooping chicken.
When you say the chicken eats ammunition,
Right.
what sort of ammunition?
Right,
Because
I
we
think
mostly use batteries for our weapons.
Well, the heavy machine gun uses bullets,
yeah, there are actual bullets.
and technically
That's
mag
right.
weapons use bullets as well.
So we're going to have to lock up all of our ammunition stores, or else they will be all converted into grenades.
Now, what's the conversion rate? How many bullets per grenade?
I don't know,
You know,
it's
we could probably make a pretty goodly sum off that.
You could actually.
that's when we come to Captain Blackjack, who is handing Ori some a surfboard and some trunks, that he promptly puts over his power armor to go surfing, and then goes and rides the waves, and you see him go, and he is wiped out by a wave. And you can go ahead and give that recap since Brendan isn't here.
So I actually had quite detailed notes, and I can't seem to find them because I didn't save them in the same Wholesale War section. So we'll roll from memory. So it might be a little spotty. In his swim trunks over his power armor, he was riding into the crest of a wave, and he wipes out, and he wakes up in the area in the world of the pyramid. He meets a fellow with a cowboy hat, and he's with Betty, and he meets a fellow with a cowboy hat. He is convinced. He was told about this conference that everybody who hated Sindum was going to be there. All the who's who. So it was the Global Fuck Sindum Conference. In retrospect, global, it might be universal in this sense because there are many globals. But we went to the Global Fuck Sindum Conference held on Hydrus, which is a pretty resort town, resort world. Apparently, they have the finest bars in the waters. It's pleasant to be at. So Ori and Betty accompany was it Montana? Big Montana.
Yeah, Big Montana.
Big Montana is the guy with the cowboy hat, played by Isaiah. So for a while, I was just kind of milling about, watching the different dignitaries come in at last minute notice. There were no brochures, so the very conference itself was super disorganized, and that showed as people started landing at not knowing where to go.
Mm-hmm.
There was catering. It started off as just being a pop-up stand, but then evolved into catering later as more people arrived by the clam shop, the clam.
Dano's Clam Shack.
What was the first name?
Dano's.
Dano's Clam Shack, which we've encountered when it's where we sold the bomb. Surprisingly, the warhead was still inside Dano's Clam Shack, which caused great concern that there was just a warhead sitting on the planet, and that UPM didn't actually do anything with it. So notable dignitaries include the curator, whom Ori was somewhat smitten for. It reminded him very much of Marceline. She smelled like Marceline, and just kind of had the overall kind of feeling of it. So he was trying to cozy up to her and take special care of her, in a polite way. A dignitary arrived from the Three Sisters.
The Sisters of Karma, Seraph arrived. Yep.
Yeah, so Seraph and the Sisters of Karma arrived. They weren't sure. So Big Montana wasn't sure if they would arrive because typically the Sisters of Karma never send. The high dignitaries never show up themselves. But this time Seraph did, and there was. Those are like the main people that I remember.
The spinning top ship arrived, and the judge showed up, who cast no shadow. Let's see who else was there. The person who was in house arrest on Hydrus. Josh, help me out here.
Help you? I don't even know who you are anymore, Peter. It was. I have to open up the other character sheet. Damn it!
I can't remember. And it's the Galactic Fuck Sindum Conference.
Oh, Galactic. Okay. So not global. Makes sense.
Chairman Jaros. He is look very emaciated individual, and he always walks around with a breathing apparatus. But when Big Montana shows up, he takes it off so he can smoke a cigar. And he is technically on house arrest on Hydrus.
I think that's going to be lifted now, though.
So you guys go to Dano's Clam Shack to hang out, and there's this table set up just for Betty right next to the bomb. so she can fondle it. And Ori, I think, was moving away from Betty every time she did that.
Yep. Eventually, everybody arrived, and Big Montana procured a conference room within the hotel. And started giving a speech about new information that he found. Sindum has been on and on about these crystals that are going to replace, I forgot which fuel.
Borax.
That's going to replace borax that they've kind of got the corner of the market on. And it's supposed to be much more efficient, and Big Montana and the Backdoor Boogie found out that that's not true. That these crystals are actually they're only good for a limited time. So they're trying to. So there's this large. They're saying there's this large ploy for Sindum to say that all borax is obsolete, so they can go up and buy all the borax in bulk, so they can have a monopoly on borax and make it scarce. So the whole point was to try to convince the attendees that that this was a lie, to not buy into it, and to continue just to buy as much borax as they can, so Sindum can't get their hands on it, I believe.
I realize we're the good guys, but did it occur to anybody that we should just shut up and start buying borax ourselves? We could be rich.
It's quite expensive borax.
Right, but it's going to become more and more expensive as Sindum corners the market.
That's what they were. I mean, that's what they were trying to. That was the message that they were trying to say, is that everybody should just buy up borax so that Sindum can't have it.
Big Montana had the Traveler appear to explain the whole thing about the black crystals, and he was a bit put off by the fact that there was no brochures, or that nobody knew had a lineup for the speakers. And that's when Ori found a overhead projector for him to use, so he could properly show where these strange diamond object pyramids were, and he marked them on a map. I think you got to pull from his bag, right?
Yep. So Ori pulled from his bag. He rolled a nat 20, and he got a red crystal, which was one of the power crystals that Sindum has been on about. Is it red, or you just said black? I thought it was red.
No, it's red. Yeah, so it was one. Red. Yeah, it was one he demonstrated. It was part of the demonstration.
So I had this red power crystal. I don't know if Betty pulled it from it again.
No, she didn't.
So at that point, I think Saraf left, and there was people went, or there was a loud bang, and everyone ran outside, and there was two ships coming down, and they were like in a dogfight. Two ships, like Sindum ships, were shooting down a carrier, and eventually there was one of the ships. I think it was one of the ships landed, and out popped Dr. Go-Go Days, who said not to tell them anything because there was a spy. So at that there was a Turing test to try to reveal.
Yeah, there's actually two tests. So Dr. Days said, "Don't tell them anything. There are replicants." And he said, "Yes, I have a test." And someone said for Betty to have sex with them. So I said, "Now there are two tests. One is Betty to have sex with them. The other one is to have them answer pi." So so they went around and started asking everybody the answer to pi.
At that point, Saraf started kind of repeating the same answer in a monotone voice. and the other his guard started opening fire. Then chaos ensued. I think so. The curator got hurt pretty badly. Ori got hurt really badly. But eventually we prevailed and killed Seraph. And it was a cyborg or an android. And then I forgot his name, but the guy from the last campaign came out after all the fun was over.
Oh yeah, the God of No Shirts.
God of No Shirts.
Yes, Hesh showed up.
Hesh. So
And,
Hesh showed up. Yeah, so he showed up. Because Ori failed at surfing, he did want to try to get in some surf lessons before he headed back to presumably complete his show in front of the 35 uncomfortable stairs of the Gorn. And so Hesh showed him a few moves. And with that, him and Betty ended up bamfing back into Infernum 4.
But you were surfing a mackerel.
Surfing a what?
A mackerel.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Surfing a mackerel.
So how do you surf a mackerel? Do you stand on it because its side is bigger? So you stand on its side, and then
You got to have skills. A couple things with that fight. I don't know how a Jawa showed up, but Big Montana threw a Jawa in the air, and it got sucked into the intake of one of the shuttlecrafts, which was actually fortuitous because that shuttlecraft was damaged and really couldn't attack the party. Ori missed a couple times hitting Dano's Clam Shack sign, much to Oleander's dismay. Two of these Sisters of Karma replicants ran into Dano's Clam Shack that had the bomb. That caused a lot of problems.
Oh yeah, that freaked a lot of people out. Since there was a warhead with enemies in it, just chilling there.
Correct. The curator took a lot of injuries, and it was revealed that she was a Gorn. And Miyako is the one who took out the Sisters of Karma that were in Dano's Clam Shack by blasting a hole in the clam shack for them to fall through into the water. And the fact that she has Die Hard twice was able to withstand that explosion, and the fact that the Sister of Karma replicant blew up survived that explosion also. Surfing lesson. Okay, and we are now back after that long and drawn out recaps of many words. So, Ori, you have now completed your surfing from Captain Blackjack as he is stunned how well you've done. You've come back onto the lake. Everyone is there. There's 35 Gorn with Betty and her chicken.
Are the Gorn? Are they still kind of emoting the same kind of blank expressions?
We're giving them combat uniforms and laser rifles at this point.
They were entranced by your surfing performance.
Ori rides into the beach on his mackerel, barefoot, power armor, swim trunks, and as he gets too close to shore, he kind of steps on the tail of the mackerel, and like it comes up, and he catches it like he would like a surfboard. And he says, "Cowabunga, dudes, who's next? Waves are awesome."
Meanwhile, Hellcrate is curled up, grabbing his knees, rocking.
That was a trip. There's more than just waves out here.
So is Hellcrate stone again, or did he turn back to Nerf?
He's back to Nerf.
Yeah, he would never be able to curl himself in a ball like this if he were made of stone. Which is also, strange for him, but at least this position is somewhat comforting.
And are we on the ice planet or are we on some other planet now?
You are on Firmum 4, which is basically the fourth layer of hell, which is kind of like, it's still the ice planet. You see that like the waves have this strange, like as they crest on this lake, have this weird flame on them, and then that goes out as it hits the water. And it's still very, very cold. But you can smell sulfur coming off the lake, and Captain Blackjack goes by and just sucks it in.
What race is Captain Blackjack?
He would look like some kind of tiefling, maybe. He doesn't have any horns, but he's definitely got like a faded red body.
Okay. Well, I think I need to sit for a bit after that. Did I win the contest?
You did outstanding. Never seen anybody surf. Never mind surf like that on a mackerel before.
Well, it took a lot of practice and a few good mentors along the way to get to that level. Maybe one day I can introduce you. I think you'd have a thing or two to learn from people of that, from beings of that stature.
I think you're correct. So whenever you're ready to go, I'll take you up the river. You can continue on your way to after the general. Is it a castle? It's basically like, yeah, it's kind of like a fortress. It's not really like a big elaborate castle.
Is the fortress surrounded by water?
It's at the end of the river, but he's got a pretty good army there. I'm told they number in the thousands.
That should be no problem for Lord Mars.
Wait,
Yeah,
what do you
we
mean?
should have the chicken begin to shit out grenades so that we can strap them to the gourd and send them in as suicide bombers.
Yeah, why people are talking to like we're gonna go in there? How? I can't even hold my hammer. And do you hear my voice? It's different. Everything about me is different.
You're gonna have to do something with Sponge Boy here. He's not gonna make it.
You happen
I don't know how I've made it. Someone just squished my head already.
One of the
squeezed his head.
Yeah. A water comes out.
Feel
Oh
better?
man.
It actually feels pretty good.
Maybe between here and the fortress, we can find a way to toughen you up. You've gone all soft.
This isn't time for jokes.
Maybe get out on those waves on that mackerel, just like Ori did.
Out of curiosity, do you know any way to remove what did you say it was, a curse?
You might want to go see Glothmore.
Who is Glothmore?
Can he fix me? Can he fix me?
He's the general, the corporate backed general, right? So does Glothmore have the special?
A corporal what?
I mean, Glothmore is he's a general, right?
No, he's just in charge.
Are you fans of Glothmore?
I support him.
Where is he?
He's up the river.
Show me on the map about how far.
Do you have your map?
I actually have it in my email.
It's about a day up the river. You'd have to stop and then trek over land, or you can go from here from Lake Mizzo. There's a you really can't take a boat on this part of the river, but there's a trail that leads from a small like village up to his palace.
Well, sounds like it's at least worth checking it out to see if we can toughen you up, Hallcraft. Get you back to fighting shape.
I can't do this, man. I can't. What is even happening to me? What am I?
I'm pretty sure there's going to be a second limited edition action figure that's the Nerf version.
That one's going to be the expensive one.
Right. / shower buddy.
I'd like to shower with Hellcrape, if you know what I mean.
I think it's worth a diversion to try to get Hellcraft back to normal.
Won't do much good for us like this.
I feel weird. I feel really weird. And then Hellcraft kind of takes his arm out and he squeezes it and water comes out. He's like, that's not supposed to happen.
Don't worry, we'll get you some help.
I'll go through my box and I will actually get him one of the purple popsicles.
How many popsicles remain?
So Captain Blackjack brings his surfboard over to you, Ori. Can I get your signature on this?
Yeah, of course. Do you have a marker or some entrails I can sign with?
And he reaches down and pulls out a knife and cuts his finger, and it starts to bleed.
So I'll grab his finger and draw in smooth, well-written cursive, Ori, and then a really terrible thumbs up, like a terrible drawing of a thumbs up.
Never washing this finger again.
Well, it's pretty cold here, so you should be okay with that.
3 weeks later, he dies of infection.
What do you want me to do about these guys? And he looks at all the Gorn.
Well, if
So-
we're going to be taking on an army, we may need them.
Give them guns and prepare them for battle.
Or at least T-shirts that say cannon fodder.
Or t-shirt guns.
If anyone's wondering, you can find advertisements on Teespring for your new shirt involving this campaign.
Is there going to be an easy way to get these Gorn up to the fortress?
Probably require 2 boats. I can get you 2 boats. You're worth it, Ori.
That'll do. So then we'll find these boats after we get off the part of the river that doesn't have boats or can't have any boats.
Right. I'll take you up the part of the river and drop you off. There's a contact there named Flynn. He'll take you up the rest of the way.
Good. That works for me. Do you have any socks?
Yes, I do.
Great. I could use a pair of galactic wool. Supposedly the softest and best at heat retention.
He just
These
kind
are
of
probably
looks.
more like colon. Just strips of colon tied into a knot. You can pull up your legs.
Only the best.
He goes to his pegacorn and rummages through his pack and gives you like some sort of insides of some creature. These will work.
How do they smell?
Horrific, but not as bad as bean beer.
Almost as bad as Tauntaun.
So I put these entrails on, and I instantly feel a warming sensation as the blood or the grease kind of oozes out, and it still feels like I'm barefoot, so it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Ori's really jiving with these entrail socks.
He's gelling.
Now there's a line of Gorn in front of Captain Blackjack trying to get the same socks you have.
Well, these are limited edition.
They go away very disappointed. So he gets everybody, the Pegacorns all take flight. He all gives you a lift up past Lake Mizzo, back onto the River of Darkness. There's a small dock here on the Black River with looks like pools of oil on the surface and debris floating down and strange like crystals growing out of the water. Every once in a while there's like an isolated fire on top of it. And there are like 3 boats and 1 person down there in like sandals and like long pants and a flannel shirt and a headband. And he's just anxiously pacing back and forth. He's anxiously awaiting. And all these Pegacorns land on this dock. You can feel it move as it hits the ground, and everybody starts to disembark. All right, Ori. Good luck to you.
Thanks, Captain Blackjack. And Levistus Speed. Or Asmodeus. I forgot. Which one is he for?
Asmodeus.
Asmodeus Speed.
That's what I thought.
Sorry.
But you might get a little of that lake water in your ears. It's all right. It'll come out over time.
Asmodeus, he seems like he's got a pretty good setup. I wouldn't mind working for that guy. Very organized.
I don't know, Sponge Buddy. You better get your stuff together if he's going to hire you. There's no crying at corporate.
That weird-looking guy, Flynn.
Yeah.
Although I think the name of that alternate action figure should be Sponge Buddy.
Sponge Buddy Hammer Guy, the famous cartoon character. Lives on a ship, way out in space. Sponge Buddy Hammer Guy. Hello, copyright. Nice to see you again, Disney and Nickelodeon and everyone else.
So everybody departs, and he takes off with his Pegacorns, and they fly into the air. You could see in the distance, you can hear the sound of gunfire and explosions, but it is far, far in the distance.
North, south, east, or west distance?
South of you.
Perfect. We're not going there.
And this person is just standing here pacing back and forth, looking at everybody.
We have the 35 Gorn with us still, correct?
Correct, yes.
Flynn, we were told to see you about some boats.
Oh yeah, man. What? Nobody told me there was going to be 35 of these dudes here. There's a lot of people, man. I don't know. I don't know if I could take everybody. They're going to have to use 2 boats, man.
That's fine with us.
Captain Blackjack said we could use 2 boats.
If the cap said it's okay, man, I won't freak on you. It's okay.
Thank you. So are these like the similar boats the one we were in before? The skull boats?
Yes. They seem a little bit bigger.
Now, we had a lot of trouble on the river coming up here. Is this stretch of river just as dangerous with the sirens?
It's all dangerous, man. It's all out there. It's all coming to get you, man.
How far up the river do we have to go until we get to the disembark point for Glothmore?
Oh, nobody said anything about Glothmore, man. I thought you had to go to the General, man.
We have to make a stop along the way.
Nobody said anything about stops, man. What are we stopping for?
I just take a look at Hellcray.
Yeah, and that's when you guys notice how Kraith is trying to walk, and each step is really strange with his knees going in and out and in and out, and him wobbling, and then a breeze knocking him over.
Careful there, careful there.
That dude's freaky, man. That dude's freaky.
We believe it was some type of spell or something put on him, and we were told Glothmore might be able to help.
He might, man. He might help you out. He's all right. I'll take you up the river then. So he sets up the one boat, and he sets up a hook to tow the other one. So I would assume all the Gorn pile in one boat and the rest of you get in the other one.
Yeah, Ori's still a little uncomfortable around the Gorn, but he's also a little confused because they now remind him of the curator. So he's got all these weird mixed feelings that he's trying to sort out in his own head.
Okay.
Well, if we put Lord Mars on the boat with all the Gorn, they can huddle around him and keep him warm.
Yeah, I was thinking Lord Mars would have the Gorn lining the size of the boat as like a human shield.
Keep him warm. Keep him out.
Just like chain them to the side of the boat so they can protect the boat as well.
For Ori! You give me a talk roll.
I am happy having them all in their own boat that will tow behind us.
Okay.
God damn you, Dustin. I nearly did a spit take. It's so bad.
The problem with having them all pack around him, Lord Mars, for warmth is I assume the Gorn are all cold-blooded.
Oh yeah, they were going to die here. We just brought them to a mass grave now to die. Shit. Yeah, so we're going to have a corpse barge behind us then.
So Flynn begins to head out onto the river, towing this boat.
I'll take a position near the front with my laser rifle and keep an eye out.
Anything anybody wants to do as you head up the river?
You said it's slightly bigger than the boat we were on. Does it have like a cabin?
It has a cabin that would easily fit 2 people.
Okay, well, I'll be in there then.
Okay.
What type of power source is powering the boat?
It's a motor.
Oh. Made in China.
Made by Fonda.
Jane Fonda? Shit, no wonder it doesn't work.
Hellcraft would stay outside because, strangely, in this form, the cold doesn't seem to bother him so much.
From the session 12, or was it? Yeah, session 12. When we, because I think we're on session 14 now. When we raided the ship in the water to get supplies and found like battery, a rechargeable battery.
Mm-hmm.
How long did that charge for? Or like how much power does that battery have? It was rechargeable, right? Or wasn't like a single use?
I think it was a battery charger.
Yeah, the portable charger that had
Yeah.
to be repaired.
Yeah, you just have to repair it.
So in that case, Ori would be like trying to repair the portable charger. So he'd be like disassembling it. Probably use his data pad. He might have like a little compact like mini tool set or something. Like,
Okay. If you want to give me a fix roll.
These guys. That is a 9.
Okay. It takes you a little bit of time, but you're able to fix this thing. It charges basically batteries from like your power armor, and I think does the laser pistol have a bat? No, does it have a battery?
Yeah, it does.
Laser weapons have batteries,
Yeah, it
but
has
they can connect straight to the power armor as well.
Yeah, there's a converter that you can put the batteries from the laser weapons in there too.
Cool. So as he picks at it and he takes it apart and puts it back together, and he hits it a couple times against the bottom of the ship, and lack of his wrench, it starts to hum and it lights up. This is working. And so while he's sitting there, he'll take that and pop out one of the batteries from his power armor suit and just kind of, so he'll still be wearing it, but since there's not really going to be doing anything, he'll just like pop it out and like have it charging while he just kind of sits there.
Okay.
Unless that is a really bad idea. Not sure. If it's a really bad idea, then I would take off the suit. Still wearing my entrail socks.
No, you feel good that you can do this and you won't start a fire or electrocute yourself or something. Lana, you feel very, very tired as you just sit up there like watching through the scope of the weapon, scanning the sides. Just kind of like you begin to kind of nod off a little bit, and then you have to wake up again. You feel very fatigued.
Okay. I am going to look around and see if I spot anything strange real fast.
No, it's the same scenery. It's this black, nasty river, and just kind of these isolated little fires, and it's very cold, and constantly dusk.
In that case, I'm going to start making my way back towards the cabin.
Okay.
Lord Mars?
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind keeping a lookout for a minute? I have to rest real fast for a bit.
Sure, I'll continue watching.
Thank you. And I'll just sit down where I am, deactivate my power armor for a bit, and take a nap.
Okay. So, Hal, Kraith, you are outside still, or are you inside?
I'm outside. I'm looking over my book of procedures, not for anything in particular, but just because it brings Halcraith comfort.
Okay. Take your mind off things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where others might look to the Bible or something, he's got his book of procedures.
Mm-hmm.
Bible is a book of procedures.
So you're, Lord Mars, you're in there with Flynn as he is like driving the boat, constantly fidgeting back and forth, and takes out some bottle that he keeps sipping from. You need a drink, man? You good? It takes the edge
No,
off.
I'm fine. I have popsicles if I need any sustenance whatsoever.
I like the silver. I like the silver getup. Is that your thing?
Yes, it helps to deflect laser fire. So I haven't seen much laser fire since being on this planet.
No. So you're headed to fight the general, like to kill him for real?
Honestly, I don't even remember why we're sailing up the river anymore. But
Yeah,
I think that's the general plan, is to bring back the general alive or dead.
Yeah, don't. But he's an odd one. I'm telling you, he's an odd one.
In what sense is he odd?
Well, he just seems to know everything that's going to happen before it happens. So you got to surprise him. You can't be predictable, man. You can't. You got to do the unorthodox. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're
You got to think
gonna
out of your mind, man.
send in 40 or so suicide bomb Gorn. That's not normal.
I hope not. But you can't fight him on his terms, man. You can't. You won't beat him.
So when you say he can see everything that's coming, do you mean he's smart and can predict everything, or that you think he can actually see into the future?
Yeah, he blows my mind. He can see into the future, man. I'm telling you.
Well, then being unpredictable will be impossible.
You got a point there, yeah. Yeah. I don't know what you're gonna do, man.
So then maybe we should be as predictable as possible. That way we'll throw him off because he's so used to everybody trying to be unpredictable.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's a good idea. I like it. So what's your plan? What are you gonna do?
I think we have to see the situation on the ground around his fortress first. Then we form a real plan. Besides, I wouldn't want to discuss it openly with you here in case he can see the future and overhear this conversation, with me just basically telling him what our plan is.
Yeah, you're right. Because sometimes it feels like he's just inside my head, and like he's talking to me.
That would explain some things.
Does everyone? I guess. Oh, I guess I'm not in the area. Never mind.
Well, maybe we'll catch one of his broadcasts later, because he's a poet, man. He's out there, man. He's in tune with everything, you know.
So what can you tell me about his army?
They're all loyal to him, man. They'll die. They'll just die for him. There are hundreds of them. They're out there. They're out at the fortress. They're just hanging out.
What manner of creature are they?
They're all manner of creature. They got horns. Some have tentacles. Some have one eye, 2 eye, 3 eye. They're all kinds of craziness. But they're all loyal to him, man.
And what sort of weapons do they use?
That's the thing, man. It's like they just use rocks and like spears, man. It's crazy.
Well, that may be to our advantage then.
I hope so.
At that point, I would go out and go over to Ori, who's fixing the portable charger, and say, we probably don't want that guy to freak out if this is what he's like in non-freaked out mode.
Especially not if he has any sort of control of the ship. Would he? You think he'd ram it into the sides or something?
I'm not sure what he would do if he was panicked. He's half panicked now.
Well, he does seem a little odd. Is he also like a tiefling, red skin?
He looks more human. He does not have any red tinge to him. He looks human.
He doesn't seem to be native to this place, so I imagine that if you're here long enough, it starts to tear after your sanity for a little while. So
Well, let's not be here any longer than we have to.
Agreed.
We can't survive with a crazier Betty.
Or he's like nodding, and then as like he's nodding, and then you just like get a good whiff of like the entrail socks. I think, has it occurred to you that we might need to try to find a way for you to not be so susceptible to mind control?
Well, that would always be good. Luckily, I've never been mind controlled myself, so I've managed to luckily avoid that so far.
I've nearly died 3 times at your hands. That you don't
all well deserved.
Well, I strongly disagree to that sentiment. However, I think maybe not here, but maybe when we get out of this planet, we should try to find a way to help you out, so you can.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I have been developing my psychic abilities over the past several days. It's going well. I'm pretty sure I'll be a telepath any day now.
I'm going to look to your feet. Are you wearing shoes?
Yes.
I don't know about that. Did you pick up a set of Diamond Quartz's 50 tape series?
I did not. I'm more of a self-taught, an autodidact, if you will.
Well, have you been able to move anything yet?
Oh, not per se, but I'm clearly on the verge of a breakthrough on that front.
Interesting. Well, like Diamond Quartz says in video 37, anybody can learn how to be psychic. You just have to believe in yourself. So I believe in you because it seems like you believe in yourself.
You're a wise man.
Oh, don't. Diamond Quartz is a wise man. I merely just purchased the videos at a discounted price.
Well, that just shows wisdom in itself.
What are we going to do
So
about
while we're having this conversation, I am sort of looking out. I assume I don't notice anything.
Yeah, it's the same kind of scenery. Nothing.
What are we going to do if Lothmore can't help Hulkrate?
Well, there's got to be some way to fix Hulkraith. We just have to buoy his spirits and give him hope. Let him know that we will find a cure for his condition. Or, worst case, we find another witch to curse him again. Maybe she won't know he was rock the first time. And so she'll curse him to turn him into rock.
That's a good point. That's actually pretty genius. Perhaps we could, he's a man. Hulkraith is well, not really a man, but he's a being who lives and dies by the dusty rules of law. So perhaps maybe there's some sort of secret addendum to the book of procedures that tells you what to do specifically for this curse that was omitted because it didn't make the cut.
That would clearly be an artifact level thing, the secret book of procedures.
Yeah. That's pre-screen, pre-skip technology right there.
Chapter 7, page 25, subsection 3, paragraph 2.
There's the Lost Amendments,
With that book of procedures, you could speak words and it changes reality.
There were originally 15 chapters in the book of procedures, but 5 of them got lost.
I mean, if we can't find any immediate fix, maybe we can find him a suit of power armor. I mean, you could definitely squeeze into one now. At least he'd have a solid exterior after that.
I suppose. Maybe make him feel a little bit better. Though he might feel just like a shell of who he used to be.
But at least he'd be in a shell.
Right. But I have to imagine somebody on this planet knows how to undo what that witch did.
I'm sure. Some infernal magic. What's Lana doing?
Sleeping.
Do you remember what you hacked off the body? I thought it was a ring and an amulet.
Me?
Lord Mars.
Which body?
The frozen one of remember the witch that cursed him? Yeah, okay. An amulet and a ring. Okay.
Oh my, those notes open.
So he Flynn opens the door and everything good, man? Everything good?
Yeah, everything outside appears to be normal.
Hey, man, good.
By the way, I'd probably be wearing the amulet and the ring then.
He goes back in and you can hear like something being broadcast, like there's an external speaker. He's like, it's the general, man. He's broadcast.
Ori, I have to keep watch. You should probably go watch whatever the general has to say so we know.
No, you look inside this little control steering room, and there's like this little shitty radio in there. And he's like trying to adjust it, to get it exactly, the dial exactly right.
Do you have to have, so if your batteries are out, if your power suit, your assault suit doesn't have any batteries in it, I'm assuming you can't move?
Technically, you can still move, but it no longer functions as a vac suit. You no longer have the benefits of communication and night vision and IR and everything else.
Okay. So yeah, I guess then he would get up and go listen to the radio.
And if you need extra batteries, you know that Lana has 3 extra Type B cells for power armor on her.
So as he like puts these to the external outside speakers, which I will not do to you guys, there's a huge squelching, annoying feedback noise which wakes everyone up who is sleeping. He's like, hold on, here it is. And he starts to turn the radio. This is the General Kosminski Poetry Hour. Wet Nerf. Ancient Curse. Mackerel Surf. Rocket Birth. What's Your Worth? Obsidian Statue. Dusky Blue. Chicken Poo. Silver Hue. Rocket Flu. Cosmic Cool. Bomb Drool. Pirate Fool. Corporate Tool, Pearl Shaw Do But Dee Do, Menage a Trois, Rat Killer Star, Skull Crusher, Mother Jawa, Marlo Lewis Scar, Siren Song, Admin Strong, Sindum Gone, Harem Bean Bear Pong, Det Core Thong. I am done. That's it, man. That's him. And then he messes around more with the radio. Here we are from Sindum. And now for more for the radio hour of the hits from Sindum. We are going to listen to Rokina from some fella named, what's his name again? Breaker Maxwell. Here, the hits keep coming. And then, of course, he turns it off. I've heard that 100 times. I'm not hearing that song, and he shuts the radio off.
Seems
Are you not
no
a fan
quite
of Breaker Maxwell?
What is it, man?
Are you not a fan of Breaker Maxwell?
I don't know. I'm not a fan of jazz. So I'm they play it all the time on Sindum Radio. It's crazy. If that guy's alive, he's making a fortune.
Never heard of him before. He must not have, his music must not have reached.
A one-hit wonder, man. One-hit wonder. That's what I'm saying.
I'm awake now.
His that poem he wrote or read was very disturbing. Hit a little close to home.
Yeah, he hits you. He hits you like right between the eyes, man. That's the way he is. That's the general. He's in there. Looks like he's gonna rip your heart out, and then he just gives you a big embrace. You know, he might slip you the tongue if you're lucky, but not that I know. But maybe I've heard. But you might be lucky. I don't know. You got a mackerel, so anything's possible, right?
Luck is defined pretty loosely in this world. Then I suppose no. He can kiss my mackerel, I suppose, if he really wanted to. Have you been kissed by General Kosminski?
We might, the early days, we might have exchanged,
Fluids.
stuff would have happened. I mean, it's all in research,
You guys go to the same university?
No, man, I came down here on assignment. I work with Lausanne. Yeah, I came here to investigate the general, put a big story out. And I just liked it so much, I just stayed, man. I just stayed. I couldn't leave. It's just crazy.
So you wrote the news that we can handle.
Yeah, I did, man. I used to. They're probably big now. I haven't been to Lausanne in a while. They're probably big. I'm probably giving up all sorts of space bucks just to be here, but it's a general. I'm just like attracted to him, but I'm not. I just can't leave.
Why?
Why not? He's got that kind of personality that draws you close.
How long has it been since you've seen him?
You mean like
Physically, not in your dreams, and not in your mind.
and it's been a while. Some days have passed. It's hard to tell day and night. Some time's passed.
Do other people, others of his, other followers of his feel this way?
I don't know, man. They don't. He doesn't talk to much of them, and sometimes he just goes into a rage and just starts stabbing everybody, And then the next thing you know, he's just laughing, cracking jokes, or he's dropping poetry. He's just dropping it. He's dropping it like it's hot. Just like that, just like you heard.
It was something.
It spoke to you, didn't it?
It did, though not in a good way.
Oh man, he knows you're coming. He knows you're here. He's waiting. He's probably waiting for you. He can't wait. You're lucky. You're lucky. The general's waiting on you. That's good.
I don't. Also, fluid definition of luck.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you catch him in a mood. Maybe he's in a good mood. Maybe you get to hang with him and talk to him. He'd just blow your fucking mind.
I prefer he didn't.
To each his own. Maybe he can fix your sponge buddy out there. Maybe he'll help him.
Maybe.
Is he always this soggy?
Just when he came here.
It's okay.
Are you familiar with like the witches magic or the witches on the road?
Oh yeah, witches everywhere, man. They're everywhere. They're putting hexes on you and trying to tell fortunes, and yeah, General don't like them. He don't like them at all.
Have you ever been or known anyone who's been cursed by one of them?
No. Mm-mm. No way, man. They don't get to me. They don't get inside my head. Mm-mm.
Well, if you find a way or hear of a way or someone who's been cursed by a witch and how you can undo it, let me know.
I'll let you know. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, good talking to you in your mackerel thing. Yeah.
Of course, it was. I guess the pleasure's all yours.
I hope so.
So Ori's gonna walk away from him and go sit next to Hallcrave.
He's deeply into his book, so it takes him a minute to notice you, and he goes, "Oh. Hi, Ori. Is there something that you need?"
I just want to get away from our captain. He's a little strange.
This whole place is strange. This whole situation is strange.
Seems like the general's waiting for us. He knows of our exploits. Even the most recent ones.
At one time, I might have been surprised by that. Sometimes I wish I never left my home world. Things would have been simpler. Of course, it's not that I had a choice, but I wouldn't be a soggy sponge.
Complexity always finds a way, whether we live a simple life or not.
I'm not sure I understand, but I'm not really in a position to argue.
Is there anything for witches' hexes in that book of procedures?
The only thing I can find is don't let it happen.
Astute.
Wise thing to, but yeah, it's the book is not very clear on things that one cannot touch or understand within the systems that we've created.
Maybe it was omitted for a reason.
I'm not sure that it would have been omitted.
Check to see if a page is stuck together. Oh, it's been here the whole time. It just got some soda spilt on it.
So as you,
Go ahead.
so as you guys head up the river, you see that he begins to move in to the side, kind of close to another bank. As you notice, there's like these little buoys in the water, and there's a couple. You haven't seen anybody for a couple hours, and now you see people along the banks, weathered
When you
clothes.
say
People, definition,
What time?
red-skinned.
You can't use that, Peter.
Yeah,
That's racist.
shit. I know. Infirmum, generic persons.
Complexion.
Yeah.
so some sort of indigenous people.
The indigenous, yes.
First
The
Nations.
indigenous infirmum people whose skin happen to be of a red hue.
This is the most racist game I've ever played.
So they're like tieflings. They're pulling in nets, and you can see as they pull in these nets, they're like bodies they pull up, and they carefully grab these bodies, which are frozen solid, and throw them onto this cart. And there's got to be like 15 or 20 of them, and there's a big set of nets, and he's driving around, taking the boats around, avoiding the nets. And you see him, he like waves to them. A couple of them just kind of like wave back. They realize it's him, and they're like, gonna look at him. Maybe he won't stop.
So the
we got
bodies
to
are
avoid the
pulling.
nets.
The bodies are pulling up. What sort of bodies are those?
They look like tiefling bodies or some kind of demon, like long arms, long face, but they're like battered and bruised, like pieces of them are missing. They look like soldiers, you could tell. Some are like frozen with like a weapon in their hand.
Peter, can I do something?
Oh, yeah.
When Lana heard him say he knew so much about us, she'd have taken off her shoes, and then, not fully understanding it, turned back into human Lana and tried to communicate with him.
Okay. As you take off your shoes and think about being human Lana. God damn.
Lana.
Yep.
You transform
But
from
Carl-
wolf to llama.
Do not know my power.
Fire breathing. You are back at the pyramid.
What pyramid?
You're back outside a pyramid.
What does it look like pyramid-wise?
It looks like it's sitting on top of a rocky area. You can see like down below, like it's on top of a mountain.
Mm-hmm. Any people around it? Or living
No, but
things?
none you can see. There might be a little bit of snow on some of these tops, and there's clouds, and it's cool breeze blowing.
What does the temple look like? The pyramid-shaped thing?
It looks
Colors?
it looks obsidian.
Obsidian. Anything on top of it?
No.
Can I see any way inside of it?
Yeah, there's a big entranceway with no door.
I'm going to take my rifle out and start making my way in.
So you walk in, you can hear your footsteps echo on the floor as you enter like a big hallway, and it opens up into a big room.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing but writing on the walls.
Is there lighting inside of here?
As you walk, the lights sort of follow you.
Okay. Oh, follow me from where?
Like they're
Oh, they-
above, they light up, and then as you continue, they will go out behind you.
Okay. Can I understand any of the writing on the walls?
You could make a knowledge check.
Ooh. No check, I think.
No check, yeah.
Whatever it's called in this game. Sure, I'll do one of those. 6. Ooh. That's 9 total.
I mean, you've seen different languages, but this one just doesn't look familiar.
Is it just writing, or is there symbols too?
There are symbols with it.
Do I recognize any of the symbols to be that one place we went to with the dragon and the diamond-shaped thing there?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it would be mixed in there. Yes.
Okay. With what I know of that, would I be able to discern any of the other symbols around it? Because we knew its name was Kamishka, according to my notes on Lana.
Right.
Yep. Kamishka.
Yeah, there's none that look like that.
Do any of the symbols look like that weird being we encountered last time?
The skeletal one?
Yeah, the skeletal dude who I blew up, or the guy who was surrounded by the swirling vortex.
No. As you think about that, there were some kind of incantations or whatever and runes that were floating, and you can see them written into the writing. Like you remember, hey, I remember that symbol barely. I remember that.
Okay. Human form. Now, based on what I'm seeing here, the incantations, can I write them down real fast?
Sure. I mean, yeah, you could
use my combat to take pictures of them, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're sitting there, you're just taking pictures. You hear footsteps coming from across the room.
I turn around, rifle raised.
You see the outline of somebody who looks about 6'8", probably like 400 pounds. And as they start to move closer to you, they are like covered in gold paint. They're just staring at you.
You're the guardian of this place.
You shouldn't have brought me here.
So I take it you're the man we're looking for.
I could be.
Tell me, how did you know so much about us?
I didn't know these things existed.
The temples?
Just think about the power I could have.
Very little if I so decide it. And I imagine him being tied up with his hands and legs behind him, his back. Anything? Nothing.
Yeah, he falls to the ground. You can see like ropes tying him up. He just smiles at you.
How do you know so much about us?
I can see the future.
You some kind of psychic person?
Of course.
That would explain why you won so many of your battles. You're not a competent leader, but you know what's going to happen ahead of time.
What is your plan?
Wouldn't you be able to tell me? You can see into the future.
Surprise me.
Well, you insist. And I'm going to imagine that we're both back on the boat with him tied up.
So you come to and look around, and there's a ruckus on the boat behind you as one of the Gorn is like moving around. He's tied up. And they're like, what the hell happened? And they're all like trying to get him untied.
Curious. Gonna get up and go to the others and just say, yeah, so he has some kind of precognitive ability. He's not actually that great of a leader.
Well, I suppose you don't need to be a great leader if you can say all the right things and know what they are, exactly the right things to say and do are.
Exactly. We're going to have to find some way to avoid his abilities. I still don't understand this psychic stuff. Ori, this is more your field at the moment.
I didn't get to any parts. I think I just stopped on video 38 of 50. And it could have been the next 12 videos had anything about pre-recognition.
Find some way to block him. That would go a long way into defeating him.
I'll need tinfoil hats.
Quickly start ripping apart Lord Mars's suit and wearing it as a hat. It's the only way.
So this stretch of nets goes on for like miles, as you see these various people working, the indigenous people of Infirmum 4, taking out these frozen bodies.
Who you have
body
identified
parts.
as redskin devils.
Yes.
Go on.
Yes.
Many of them looked like they were sent here with a great sword slash through them, as if wielded by one hand.
You never know. And there's a bunch of carts like along the side, so not just one. And they're just collecting them. Some get full. You see them take off.
So I'd ask, what's our guide's name?
Flynn.
Finland?
Flynn.
Flint. I would ask Flint. Do you know what those bodies are being used for?
Well, yeah, of course I do. I mean, like, recycling's important here. We reuse and recycle everything. Yeah, that's Glothmore. That's Glothmore's work there.
How thrifty.
Yeah, these are soldiers from the war.
What do they use? What are I get the equipment, but what do they use the bodies for?
They recycle them.
For ships?
Well, parts of ships and then parts for more soldiers.
I'm afraid I don't understand. How do they make soldiers out of soldiers?
It's all complicated. It's all crazy complicated. Glothmore knows how it works. There's a set of tubes, and there's a turn, and there's a thing, and they put them in, and there's a big, and it shows up, and then it happens, man. I'm serious. You should go there and check it out.
A cloning vat by the sound of it. Going ahead and getting the old bodies, recycling the nutrients and proteins and everything within them, then pumping out new ones.
Yeah, nothing goes to waste. We don't waste anything.
Glothmore sounds like he's got life figured out, and the whole army thing.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's not bad. He's not the general though, but he's not bad.
I don't know. He sounds a little like cooler than this Kosminski fellow. I mean, it doesn't sound like General Kosminski can recycle as nearly as well.
Oh, if he wanted to, he would. I wouldn't put it past him.
He doesn't particularly need to. He can see into the future already. He can assure that he wins every battle with as few losses as possible.
But is he really winning, man? Is that what it's about? Is it about winning?
I'd assume as much.
Definitely about not losing.
Those are all terms of art, man.
Terms of art?
Yeah, it's all relative. You got to get at the essence of who the man is.
And who is the man?
He's complicated.
We have time.
He's devil. He's God. He's light. He's dark. He's Backstreet. He's Iron Maiden. He's everything, man.
When did he come to this world?
I don't know, some time ago. I didn't catch it. I just got put on assignment. I'm just down here
And what was your assignment?
to investigate the general, man, to put out the big report. I was going to put out the big report for Lausanne, make the big time, you know?
And how's
Put it
your
out
report
there.
coming along?
I'm working on it. I mean, I've got some revisions.
How many words are you up to?
Oh, it's not about words, man. It's about your ideas. If you can say your ideas in one word, who cares?
I'm pretty sure the magazine or the paper or Lausanne would care.
Yeah, that's just because they don't get it, man.
They have a time slot to fill.
But he gets it.
What does he get?
Everything and nothing at the same time.
And you said you've met with this man?
Yeah.
And what type of man is he when you met with him?
Like, what do you mean?
Was he generous? Was he
Like-
kind? Was he confident, afraid, anxious?
He was all of that, all at the same time. He's complicated.
And what did you have to do to get him to allow you to meet with him?
Just had to talk to him, man. Just had to get real.
Get
Say it like
real?
it is.
And how is it?
However it is, man. You just got to speak your mind.
Well, honesty has always been one of my stronger suits.
You ever met him?
Not that I know of.
Well, you'd remember. You'd remember if you did. It'd be a big deal.
When did he first appear on the scene?
I don't know. I wasn't here for that, but I heard it was a big deal.
Do you have any idea or estimates of when it might have been?
I don't know. I don't know. Years. I don't know how many years. A long time.
Well, you've been very helpful. Thank you. Now leave.
Okay. So you come up to the point about 6 hours or so have passed. And he pulls up the two ships up to the side. In the distance, you can see one of those carts moving with a bunch of bodies in it. All right, yeah, if you're going to Glothmore, that's the trail right there. And he points to there's this road that goes over these hills. I'll wait. You want me to wait? Wait right here?
Yes, wait right here. Is the trail safe?
Yeah, sure.
Will we encounter anything on the trail?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, wait right here. We'll be back.
All right, so it's the four of you. Are you taking the Gorn with you?
No, we can leave the corn.
Okay. Betty will guard the Gorn.
Just getting them grenades.
Wait, so we're gonna leave the ship now?
Yeah, we're going to go find you help.
Oh. Okay. So he very cautiously tries to pick himself up, stand. He wobbles a bit, tries to fight against the wind, but he seems to have himself stabilized for the moment.
Would you like a suit of power armor, Hellcrate?
No.
Are you sure? Might be able to help stabilize you in these trying times.
I need to learn how to do this myself.
Okay. Well, if you need someone to lean on, I'm here.
I imagine him saying that and then tripping and falling and kind of bouncing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
I'm there. I'm there.
Right. So the four of you begin your trek along this path. You can see the wheel ruts from this cart, from various carts that have been on this road. Again, we have like, they look like trees, but they're just basically these blue like crystals that have formed up from the ground. On either side, there's rolling hills. It looks like dusk. It's very cold. Wind's blowing. It's snowing. It's raining. It's sleeting, and then it repeats that cycle.
For the cart tracks, are they all the wooden spoke type of wheels that you see on a wooden cart? There's no tire tracks or tank treads?
No.
Okay.
Being pulled by some kind of two-legged beast. So it is about an hour trek to Glothmore's palace, so to speak. You get to an outside retaining wall, and the carts are kind of lined up out there. And there's some kind of building to the side. You can see some tieflings running around. They're collecting the bodies. There's like a large tower with a tube, and they seem to be like moving the bodies, collecting the bodies over, and they're getting sucked into this tube. And there's like this palace that is made of some kind of stone covered in snow and ice. There are people walking along the top of the palace. They appear to be armed, probably with a bow or some kind of ranged weapon, crossbow. And you see one of the guards come walking up to you as he sees you guys approach.
I would position myself between Halcraith and any of these tubes that can suck bodies up.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Is this safe for him to be here?
So, what brings you out here?
Who are you?
Sergeant at Arms.
We're here to see Glothmore.
Okay.
We're here from corporate. Corporate sent us to try to take care of the general. And it seems our friend Hallgraith here ran into a witch's spell.
I've been cursed.
Yeah, he doesn't normally look like this. He's a lot more colorful. He's usually a lot more droll. He's quite colorful and spongy now.
Looks like he just needs to be squeezed out. He's full of water.
Well, we need him to be a stone that doesn't exactly suck up water.
But heard that Glothmore, since we're here to, ideally, if we're able to displace General Kosminski and put Glothmore in charge, thought maybe he'd know a thing or two about the hexes cast by the river witches. Might be able to undo this.
Well, Lord Glothmore is very, very busy strategizing and moving armies and keeping the enemies at bay. But he may receive you if you have the appropriate gifts. So what gifts have you brought?
We were not told that we needed to bring gifts. What is the customary gift for such a circumstance?
Something of value, importance.
That is the definition of gift, but that doesn't help us understand what kind of gifts would be sought.
He is a man of many tastes.
We have a magic chicken.
No, we don't. Brendan's got it. However, I do have something that he might be interested in. And I pull out the signed Judd Gorn action figure.
Ori also he's like, I can get my mackerel. I have a mackerel you can surf on, if you have the skill to tame it.
Excellent, excellent.
I have nothing because I cannot carry anything in my current state, but
luckily I have brought a ring and an amulet, one for me and one for him.
He just he looks it over. Fair enough gifts, and I'll let you in. I would ask you to please do not disturb unless he speaks to you. There's lots of war planning and very important goings on inside. And he leads you past down a walkway. There's a couple soldiers just standing there, leaning on their weapons, kind of like city workers. And opens a door, leads you into a great hall. There's a large table. There's lots of food there. And sitting there with like one horn slightly askew and another small little horn on the other side. And then he's got a nose ring and some fangs. It would be Lord Lothmore. Oh, come in, everyone, come in. I have guests.
hello, Lord Gothmore.
Oh, aren't you a plushy little thing? Come over here, let me squeeze you.
So that is actually what we are here about. I've been cursed by a river witch. This is not normally how I am. And I was hoping that you could restore me.
Why, you're splendid.
I am nothing. I can barely move. I don't even know what I would need to eat to sustain myself in this form. I can barely hear. I can't.
Come
I'm
here,
useless.
let Lord Glothmore hug you.
He really doesn't want to, but he agrees to it anyways.
So yeah, he gets up. This guy's like 7 feet tall, but he's like kind of gangly, and he comes and gives Kelkraith a hug. Now, what have the rest of you come for?
We found a way yet to go ahead and stop General Kosminski from going ahead and using his precognitive powers against your forces.
Oh, Kosminski, he's no problem here at all.
Then where did those corpses floating down the river come from?
The war. That's a consequence of war. There are corpses, but
And
properly
who's
recycled, as I will show you, if you wish.
I would love to see your facility. Who's this war being fought against then?
Well, the armies of those loyal to Levistus and other denizens of hell that don't belong here, because I am the lord of the Infernum 4.
And who's
The fourth layer
commanding
of
those armies?
Who is what now?
Commanding those armies.
Oh, there's various generals and whatnot. General Kosminski has his own little thing.
So there's no bad blood between you and Kosminski.
Well, he's not made any personal threats. I don't care for his poetry at all. It's not very exciting. But he is kind of a nuisance, I guess, If he needs to be taken care of, then oh well.
Well, he's believed by most to be the one in charge of Infernum 4.
That's ludicrous. I am obviously in charge, as you can see. I sit here in the palace. I am in charge.
If only power worked so simply.
Of course it does.
We'll be taking our time and effort to try to remove him, however insignificant he may be. He has made some enemies. But our reason for coming here is to see if you can help us with a way of lifting this curse on Halcraith here.
It's normally a giant boulder.
Yes, you could. I don't have much, but whatever you would ask for, I would greatly give.
You don't say. Well, there is a witch that I employ. She's out back in her little hovel. You can speak with her. She would remove your curse.
Oh, we greatly appreciate it.
Yes. Halcraith gets a little bounce in his step, both literally and figuratively. Heading back out that way.
Okay, so yeah, he shows you out the side. Out the back is literally like this little shack. Again, there's more of these like towers and with these piles of bodies and tubes, and you also see like these like little ponds, spots of water. It looks like they're full of like muck, like mud or some ooze or something in them. And you can see people over there like stirring them.
Out of curiosity, is he wearing shoes?
Who? Lothmore?
Yes.
Only the finest. Very fashionable.
Are they?
Yes.
The pointiest of boots.
Yes. Pointy boots. Made of velour.
Rich Corinthian leather.
You get to the this hovel with the door that's kind of side, turned on its side. It says, "Please knock," written in crude common.
Halcraith tries to knock, but it's just squeak, squeak, squeak. Thank you, Lord Mars.
So I will knock at a different spot than the wet stain.
So the door opens, like a blonde-headed female woman with a big pointy hat. She's got a parasol, pointed boots.
You look human?
Yes.
Your Lord sent us to speak with you. He said that you could lift a curse that was laid on our spongy friend here.
She takes her parasol and kind of pokes Halcraith.
Please don't do that. It's uncomfortable.
He is normally a creature made from stone.
Oh dear, what happened?
Well, we kind of got into an altercation with a river witch.
Oh, you did. What did she look like?
I would describe her. I don't remember.
What happened to her?
I put her in the river.
You did. Delightful.
She was a nuisance, and
Oh, she was.
I paid the price.
What price would that be?
I'm now like this.
No, but what happened to her?
Oh, she is dead.
You jest.
Well, last I saw her, she was dipped into the river,
Oh,
and those that go into the river freeze.
They do.
I assume that they do to their death.
It looked rather painful.
Did you see her free?
We
Didn't-
hauled her
didn't
out
we-
of the river.
Didn't we at least see her like floating to the top as a frozen?
We hauled her. I
Corpsicle.
hauled her out of the river and hacked the amulet and ring.
Oh,
off
that's
of her.
right.
So yeah, we took her frozen body from the river, and maybe removed a personal item or two that we wound up gifting to your lord.
What were they?
An amulet and a ring.
Oh, my dear. And she pushes you aside and runs back into the palace.
Did
You
she
see-
have her hands?
Huh?
Did she have hands?
Yeah, she looks like a human. She runs, she comes back out, the door flings open, she is skipping, like almost like floating on the water. She's got, over the walkway with her parasol, just like bouncing with a big smile on her face. She is wearing the ring and the amulet, and she spins around and she embraces everyone. You've done it! You've killed my sister! Glorious day! Come on in!
Good heavens.
The bitch is dead.
Well, I think we can all agree with that sentiment about her.
So, I'm guessing you two had some disagreements between each other.
She was the favorite. Not anymore.
How big was your family?
No, we didn't have one. She was just the favorite.
Oh, favorite of who?
Everyone.
Well, you're our favorite.
You're just saying that.
Realistically, you are. You didn't transform him into a nerf.
Well, let me transform you back. I can break this curse. And she walks over to like this big book. She starts fiddling through all these papers. Some of them go flying everywhere.
Is that a book of procedures?
You mean the Book of Procedures? The Procedurenomicon?
I haven't heard it called that in a long time. She snaps over a piece of paper and slides it in front of you, Halcraith.
I will take the paper and see if I can read what's on it.
Water rings out of his hand as he tries to grip the paper.
Wait, squeeze him first.
His chance of salvation just runs away with the ink down the table.
Okay. So there's like, it starts off pretty big and then gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller all the way in. There's a spot where you have to sign.
Oh no, does she have doctor handwriting?
Do you have something that I can sign this with?
I feel like you should read it first.
Don't read it.
I'm sure it's all boilerplate. To be honest, I don't much care for the price as long as I can be restored. So Halcraith will take whatever instrument that is in reach to sign, and will do so.
As you said it, I would add, I feel like the Book of Procedures probably says something about signing contracts before you've read them.
She pokes you with the parasol. Quiet you.
Be gone, thought.
All right, you sign it. She looks at it, scrolls it up. She puts it up in the air. It just kind of disappears.
So when's the wedding?
And at this point, you start to feel your body get heavy. All the water starts to drain out. There's a big puddle on the floor. And the nerf starts to become solid again. Back to rock.
Alcrate goes, he's ecstatic. He begins to run, and he's about to run through the door, Kool-Aid Man style, but then is like, no, show respect. She just helped you. So he opens it up, but then he just starts jumping around and bashing the ground and testing out his sturdiness.
So I'm sure we feel the thumps and the tremors from the side of just like Hallcrate just beating the ground.
Hortensia, he's not normally like this.
So, anything for the rest of you?
A question,
Yep.
actually. Which you might be familiar with.
She
We were
goes to
sent
her
here-
book and starts flipping through some pages. Yes.
We were sent here to collect a man by the name of General Kosminski. I'm certain you're familiar with him.
Continue.
I guess that you're aware he has precognitive abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know a way of blocking those abilities?
She
Although
reaches
if he
through.
has precognitive abilities, then surely he knows that we're trying to block his precognitive abilities. So he would have taken countermeasures to prevent that.
She reaches in her book and pulls out a piece of paper, slides it over to you.
I flip it around and look at it.
It's some kind of contract, something about the information provided. You swear not to give to other third parties. Blah, 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 blah.
Okay, I'll sign it.
Excellent. She wheels it up, disappears. You have to offer him something that he can't refuse.
And what would he be unable to refuse? I wonder. Anyone have any brilliant ideas?
No, but maybe if we listen to more of his poetry, something will suggest itself.
True, it has been about an hour.
It might take a lot of poetry. At least.
There you go.
At
We'll
least.
challenge him to a poetry duel.
Sandals and socks, bitches can't hand my sandals and socks. That ain't gonna work. I'm not a poet. I guess we'll have to think on it.
She kind of looks, it takes a hard look at you, Wolf Lana,
Uh-oh.
and looks at Ori. I think you two know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you two know.
The temple? Or the pyramid thing?
She reaches down her book and pulls out a piece of paper and slides it over to you.
Is it the same piece of paper?
It is similar about disclosing information, disclosure agreements. Sorry, Kurt. Sorry. I'm going to get him PTSD.
Or be sent to Gulag. Okay. I'll sign that.
Takes it, disappears. Yes.
He seeks the temple. Are you saying that he can't actually get to the temple on his own?
He might not be able to.
So not all psionics can get there by themselves, is what you're saying?
No. If you believe the psychic mumbo jumbo. As she said that, like wisps of magic go through her hands.
And how does
You
your
were-
magic function? Oh.
I was gonna say, are you referring to Diamond Quartz's 50 tape video set? Because it's definitely not mumbo jumbo. I feel like I've learned a few things.
Diamond quartz. There's someone who loves them and leaves them.
Who loves the what?
Oh no.
Enough said. She pulls out a piece of paper and slides it over to you.
Would you like to see him again?
I read it's the same spiel.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing about forsaking a soul or
Give me an administer check.
I don't even need to check because I know I didn't put any points in there. 6.
Not that you can tell now.
Looks
Just shall not disclose, blah, 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 firstborn, blah, 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 blah.
looks kosher to me, so I'll sign it.
Oh, she'd have to go way back for Lana's firstborn.
We may have had a relationship in the past.
Oh.
Do you miss him?
No, and as she
Apparently.
says that, you see her take like some sort of picture and fold it down. No.
Well, apparently he gets around because he's also with Flynn once upon a time.
No, that's General Kosminski. We're talking about Diamond Quartz.
Ah,
Well, it just so happens that once we've captured the general, we'll be heading back to Diamond Quartz.
Mm,
I think it would be all right if you were to come along with us.
you don't
If
say.
you- Well, it's up to
Yeah.
our leader, Lord Mars.
It
I'm
depends.
fine taking on a passenger if it's okay with your lord. We don't need to be getting in trouble with him.
Or at the very least, we could bring back a message.
Everybody give me a notice roll.
Yeah. Always do.
Even me, who's outside jumping around.
Yeah,
So,
even you. You can get a notice roll.
And you get a notice roll, and
you get a-
notice.
Got a
Oh,
7.
jeez.
6.
That is actually a 11 for me.
So,
I think I got a 7. Yeah, 7.
so Lana, as you're talking to her, you notice she kind of like peeks over to the side. There's like a little closet, and on a little hook is you would recognize this is some kind of type of lingerie type evening wear, and she kind of looks at that and she's like, "In person would be nice."
So is she old?
No, she looks like mid-20s.
I go up to her, put my hand on her shoulder, moving closer, and whisper, "I'm sure he'll love it."
But let me ask, what is your opinion on bean beer and other bean flavored products?
That was a bit of a rift between us.
So you're not into bean things.
No.
Well, in Diamond Quartz's establishment, there is bean feasts, all the bean beer you could drink. And in fact, that's the only substance that is seen to exist on the planet. Some people actually like it. Diamond Quartz is a good example. Our pretend to be drunk pilot is also another good example.
Have you ever seen him actually consume any of these bean items?
No, but they're always empty around him.
She fiddles through a book again and rips out a piece of paper and hands it to you.
Is there any anything about selling the souls on this one?
No.
So I'll sign it and hand it back.
He doesn't actually like the bean stuff.
Jerry?
Diamond Quartz doesn't actually like the bean stuff.
Then why the pretense?
It's all marketing.
Are they doing the marketing because they can't actually grow or manufacture anything else in their area?
He just wants to seem cool.
Seem cool with who?
Halcraith, what did you roll?
7.
So you're outside and you see these little lakes, these little ponds that got all the goo in them and they're stirring them.
Yeah.
And as you're bouncing around, I'm sure all happy and excited. You see one of these guys grab a shovel and he sticks it like in a form, like a big form, and they close it. And they undo it and they plop out like, it looks like a blob and it's got like 3 eyes and it starts to move around. And it's kind of like a big slime ball.
So they're like Play-Doh molds?
Yeah. And there's a bunch of them. They start doing that. They start checking these, making sure the consistency's right. And they're just shoveling them into these molds and plopping them out.
Okay. I'll take note of it, but I'm just so happy. I need to feel my body more.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to change your background now.
Oh, yeah. What is it going to be now?
How did you get employed? How did you find employment to Glothmore? Or how did you come to this place?
Vacation.
From where?
You wouldn't know it. It's some horrendous place ruled by apes. But they came here for vacation and stayed because I liked it.
And your sister followed you?
Of course. Claimed it was her idea.
Mm-hmm.
Bitch.
Why was she out in the swamp? Or in the,
Because she
around
was
the
a
river?
fortune teller. Fooey.
Were her fortunes accurate?
50-50.
And what of you? What do you specialize in?
All sorts of things.
Really? Such as? I've seen your ability with paperwork and to turn our friend back, removing a curse. What else can you do?
What do you got?
A lot of questions. Many that perhaps you'd be able to answer in the future.
I might.
Can you see into the future?
No.
But you can stop others from seeing it.
Maybe. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking if you can, go ahead and stop the good general from spotting what we're about to be doing. It would go a long way to getting you back with Diamond Quartz.
Oh?
A very long way.
Oh, it is a long way. Trust me.
And I'm sure you'd be happy to hear about your assistance in this regard.
Yes.
So, if you'd like to tell us how to stop him fully, tell us how we can trap him within the temple and then bring him back here.
Told you. Offer him the temple. He can't resist that kind of power.
What type of power does that temple have?
I've been told all sorts of power. Psychics crave it. It amplifies their abilities.
How does it do that?
Something in the temple. I'm not sure.
Can I show her my phone with the incantations and the pictures of everything I took in there?
Can you?
Yes, I think I can.
Okay.
Let me whip this out. Okay, and I'll show it to her. I took a few pictures while I was there.
So what pictures do you show her?
I will show her the ones of Kamishvar and the, what's it called, the diamonds. And I will show her the incantations which I recognized and the areas around them.
What's the first? Okay, so she, I would assume that you're starting with like the most recent pictures of like the incantations.
Yeah.
So she's looking through that. She kind of recognizes them. Not really. She says they're very, very ancient and old.
How ancient are we talking?
Thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. Languages that have been lost.
Do we know what languages they come from?
It's kind of Sumerian.
Can't say I'm familiar with them.
She, what was the pictures after that?
The main pictures were of the different incantations, the ones where I could find them on the walls.
Okay.
And the some spots beyond it, and then of the dragon, Kamishva, and the obsidian-shaped diamond things.
So as soon as she looks at that, she throws it, like literally. Throws your data pad, and it just lands on the ground. You got like a life-proof thing on it, or what?
Yeah, it's insured, and I've uploaded it to the cloud.
Okay, good. Give me a D100 roll.
D100 roll, oh boy. That's a number above 50, I think. Okay, that's fine then, just 90.
So when you pick it up, there is a slight crack in it.
No, that's fine. Did you see something that scared you?
Dark magic. Karmeshva.
This dragon has something to do with dark magic?
He is... And those symbols.
What are they?
Oh, those are Orcus.
Orcus? What is Orcus?
Devil. And Asmodeus.
Then why are you working for someone who's working with Asmodeus?
What?
Her lord works for Levistus, I believe.
Oh, Levistus, I lied. Thought it was Asmodeus for some reason. There's too many devils in this world for me to get straight.
No, he does work for Asmodeus.
Just remember we said to the, or he said, Levistus be with you, and then he's like, wait, what? You meant Asmodeus?
It looks like Mike is trying to like fix Hogwarts.
Yeah, repairing.
Like
you have to tighten the spine. Mike, you need the 10 millimeter. It's not going to work. Damn it. No.
It looked like Halkraith was choking, and so Mike was like just reaching down his throat.
Stone stuck in the throat. So what do you mean by dark magic? What exactly is magic? I'm familiar with psionics, but not magic.
I mean, it's the power that exists everywhere.
How does it work?
And she points to the door, it swings open, and you see Halkraith bouncing around.
How did you make the door swing open? With telekinesis?
Oh,
Magic?
yes.
And what do you do to go ahead and force the door open?
It's a cantrip. It's pretty easy.
It's simple, so you can teach it to anyone then, correct?
Maybe.
Then show me.
But
how
what
to
he's
do it.
saying is obviously there's going to be some sort of field or particle that you're creating that is interacting with the door to cause it to open. So how are you manipulating these fields or creating these particles?
So she shows you her umbrella, and on the very tip of it, you can see that there is a black crystal.
Does it look kind of like the ones I saw in the temple?
Did you ever spot black crystals in the temple?
Well, the black diamond thing I saw in the temple.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't look like that. This looks like a crystal.
Okay.
At that moment, Hellcrace comes in, feeling very good, and he tells everyone they're creating living slime mold creatures. I don't know what's going on out there, but it's interesting.
Some kind of biological experiment gone right for them, apparently. So what does this crystal do?
Focuses the power.
What power?
Power, like your. She points to your weapons, like your batteries.
Where does this power come from, then?
I think they call it the.
Michael? Thought we talked about this.
Dun dun dun.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, Peter, I told you my character was an engineer who specialized in making things. She's gonna have to learn where magic comes from now.
Yep.
You did this to yourself, you know, right?
Oh, I do it every time.
Got my Kameshtar. Is it Kameshtar? The dragon?
Mhm.
Got my Kameshtar commemorative mug.
Okay, good.
So I want to make sure I'm on the right side of this thing.
Only an Ori deals in absolutes. I can tell. Hi, welcome to D&D with Josh, where I can slow the game down to a fucking crawl.
You know, I've been spelling Hallcrate's name wrong all this time in my notes.
Uh-oh.
I put a Y after the A, the second A. It's like a wraith type deal.
So Marina, the witch, will gladly accompany you.
Yay.
She hands a piece of paper over to Lord Glothmore, who signs it and presumably releases her of any obligation to him and joins your group.
Yay.
Anything you want to do while you're here?
Nope.
Let me have a look around.
Actually, I would ask Lord Glothmore if he had armory for like an armory that we could, or some stuff he was willing to spare for our Gorn fellows. It's something that might be a little bit better than the grenades that he's going to hand them and they're going to poorly throw.
I wanted to fashion vests. Our best use of the Gorn is suicide bombing. Well, we can't take them all on the ship at the end, so we're going to have to thin their numbers anyway.
No, that's fine. We leave most of them here, and we'll have our own faction on this planet then. Consisting of Gorn, all with heavy machine guns, because why not?
He basically he can provide you with like some kind of armor that looks like dried leathery hides of some kind of creature,
Okay, we'll need 40 sets and carts to take this stuff back.
I saw a bunch. I mean, I saw a bunch of carts hauling dead bodies. So I mean, it seems like you have a lot of carts. I don't know if you have any to spare that were kind of in the shop or.
Yeah, he will spare you a cart full of these dried skin suits.
This is going to sound weird, but is there electricity here?
No.
No. Okay.
That's why I do the battery charger.
Yeah.
No power, no nothing.
I was wondering if his facility had electricity.
So you guys, we'll fast track. Oh no, we want to RP the whole time back. Back to the river.
Still waiting to learn how magic works.
Yeah.
That's going to be the email. Wait, we're getting an email later.
It's like mid-Koreans, right?
You know what?
It might as well be.
Well, we just might. We just might get to see some more about it. You know, there's room that there's going to be a new trilogy with George Lucas at the head. So I hope we find out all the nitty-gritty details.
And how are the Gorn related to it? That's the big question.
Right.
Well, lawsuit, here we come.
Yeah. We get to the dock. Flynn is still there. He's chatting up the Gorn. Who knows what he's told them. And all the Gorn are just sitting there waiting. This whole thing takes about like 2 hours for you guys to go there and come back. Hey, man, you back? We ready to go? Let's go. We ready to go? 2, 3, 4. What happened to the spongy guy?
I'm here. I've been restored.
What's with Mary Poppins?
She's a
He's
friend.
a passenger on our ship that we're taking with us.
I don't know if the general might not like that. I don't know if it's a good idea.
Well, we're not necessarily in the business of pandering to the general at the moment.
Yeah, he'll be fine with it though, for sure.
Okay, so you head back up the river, past through the black water and the debris, and there are no groups out here with fishing nets or anything. That has ended. Every once in a while, you see this small little hut, but there is nobody around. You start to encounter, as you reach these wooded pines. They look like pine trees. They're all black. And it's just the trunks that you see. And it looks like they almost like follow you. They have like eyes that seem to follow you as you go down the river. They seem to be watching. And you see these blobs that you had saw before, Hal Craith, these creatures that were in the molds. Every once in a while, you see some come out of an area of like crystals that are obscuring your view. They kind of poke a couple of their eyes around.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be a lot of them here.
I'm going to point them out to the others and let them know these are the creatures I saw back at what's the witch's name again? Marina. Outside of Marina's home.
Marina, what are these exactly?
Oh, there's the soldiers.
How do they fight?
Poorly.
That would make sense. Then why are you continuing to use them?
I don't use them. I don't work for them anymore.
Should I say, why do they use them?
They're recycled.
Mm-hmm. Can they do anything?
They get in the way.
That sounds about as effective as corporate actually is.
You see like one of them get too close to the water's edge and slides and falls off and just just kind of disintegrates on the water, and as you go by, you can see the swirl of oil, and you realize that the swirls of oil are probably these things.
What is it that they become? Why do they swirl like that?
What's their last form?
How many forms do they have in total?
Well, they can only be recycled once.
Mhm.
Then they become part of the river.
How exactly are they recycled? There was no electrical generation in that area.
It's magic.
I feel like there are a lot of like silent stares between these two when he asks questions that are answered with "It's magic."
Again, my character is very much an engineer. She wants to know how this works. Okay. A lot of this world is magic, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I see.
How does science explain Hellcrith turning into a nerf?
Magic.
Can we not speak of that event?
It's okay, I'll get in the email from Peter later.
I was just bringing it up that perhaps there is something here that isn't quite found elsewhere or operates on the same under the same rules as the rest of the planets.
I don't think Marina's from this planet, so presumably she learned her magic and then came here.
They call it Totec. That's where I'm from.
Totec?
Totec.
Where is that in the sectors that we know of?
She points in some direction. It's that way.
Oh, of course. 0103. I knew it. Tell me, is the temple magic or psionic?
The temple? What do you speak of?
The pyramid thing I went to. That you said the general would be interested in.
It's no magic I've ever seen.
What's the difference between psionics and magic?
Magic makes sense. Psionics are just foolish.
But apparently anyone can become psionic.
Exactly, that's why it's foolish.
How is it foolish?
Because they're just simple, foolish tricks.
Being able to predict the future is a foolish trick?
I think he's using magic.
How about being able to teleport different places?
Magic?
But we know psionics are capable of it.
Because they're using magic.
So magic and psionic is a synonym for one another?
No.
No? Then how are people who've never heard of magic capable of using psionics? That allow them to go ahead and do things which you claim are to being only magic.
Because they're using magic and they don't know it.
Is it possible for anyone to learn magic?
No.
No? But anyone can learn psionics.
Precisely.
And if anyone can learn psionics, then by that definition, anyone can then technically learn magic because they can all use magic abilities.
No.
You seem not to have a very high estimation of psionics in your book.
Except diamond quartz.
That's magic, baby.
Regretfully, I'll have to take your word for that, I have a feeling. Oh boy.
A couple hours pass down the river. You start to see bodies on pikes by the side of the river.
They frozen?
They are not frozen. They're just sitting there rotting with the snow and the rain and the cold. Once in a while, like a random, some sort of bird with a human head lands on them and starts eating them.
Any movement in or around the bodies?
No. And as you get closer, as you go down, continue down, it's just lines these fields. You just see all these different pikes stuck in the water. I mean, in the fields with the bodies.
I take it this is the general's work?
We're getting very close. Then you start to see people moving about. They are covered in like black ichor, like some kind of slime on them. They look humanoid. They don't have any horns. You see their breath. Their breath looks cold, like cold vapor coming out. They carry like a simple spear, or they'll have like a sling with a rock. You see one come over with the spear, and like you see one of those little slimy dudes with the eyes. They kind of poke him into the water, and he just kind of gone. He's big swirling oil there, and they're just staring, watching you as you come in.
Somehow I expected more from the slimes. I'm not sure why.
Well, there's presumably a reason General Glothmore isn't in charge, or isn't a ruling faction, despite whatever he believes.
I think it's quite obvious there was some inbreeding in the royal family to get him.
So as the river makes its bend along these now rolling fields of pikes and of bodies, you can see a lot of these covered humanoids with their primitive weapons. They come up to the river bank.
No particular color.
Black ichor.
Oh, shit.
They sit and watch you as you go by.
What are these creatures?
These are the followers.
Now, have we heard any more of his ranting broadcasts in the
No.
past couple of hours? Even though it's supposed to be his poetry hour?
Yeah.
He's just not good with time?
No.
Maybe
Magic.
ours is different.
Yeah, we're cool. Just everybody stay cool. We'll be cool. We'll be good.
Are these creatures dangerous at all?
We should be good. No, we'll just as that point, you hear Gorn scream as a rock hits one of them in the head, and he falls and plummets into the water and freezes. Okay, all right. So we got plenty left.
Are we under attack?
No, don't do anything. We're good.
Oriole,
know
you
about
turn
these
and
people?
yell back at the Gorn.
Okay.
Be on your guard. Don't let that happen again.
They all
Link
look at each other
arms.
like, what the hell? Yeah.
What do you know about his people? Are these his followers?
Yeah. These are the followers. Yeah.
Do they have a name?
His followers.
Why do they follow him?
See who he is, man. You heard him. You heard him on the radio. You heard him.
So resistance for them might be futile at the end of the day.
I mean, I mean, we're going to be there soon enough. I mean, you get to meet him, and you know, you'll learn everything.
I intend to.
So as you proceed down the river, getting closer and closer, you see these like dome like shaped buildings, and there's hundreds of these individuals with their spears and slings and stones have all come out, just watching you come in. There's not many pikes of bodies anymore. There's a couple cages you can see being hung up, and they've got these like those slime creatures in them.
Are the slimes doing anything? Does their body seem to be having any effect on the cages?
No.
So they're not acidic or anything, they're just kind of worthless. And the cages are made out of wood, I take it?
Yeah, it looks like wood. Okay, all right. I hope you got a plan.
A bit of one.
Do we see in the distance, like in the fortress? Is it coming up, or is it?
You have essentially entered the fortress at this point. You see like these dome. They're probably they're max like 12 meters or 40 feet tall. They're not very tall. So they're like standing on top of them. They're standing around them. It's a very small, the river is getting smaller and smaller as you're moving in, and they're getting closer and closer. They're all standing there just packed, like wall to wall, right next to each other, watching you come in.
We should go in and talk to him first. We have nothing to lose.
Should have Betty distribute the grenades I am assuming she made while we were off getting Hallcrace some help.
That's why Betty's not going to be able to participate in the combat. She's out of ammunition.
No grenade or Gorn left behind.
Again, I think it's best if we try to avoid combat for now and see if he'll come quietly. We do have something we can offer him after all.
And then you, go ahead.
What is it exactly we're going to be offering him?
The temple.
But when you say that, what does that mean? We're giving him a temple?
We're going to give him the pyramid commish thingy.
Do we? I don't think that is ours to give.
I think it's kind of a case of finders keepers when it comes to that thing. You know, like a lost and found. And it's been over 30 days, so it's anyone's game.
Structures like that are not usually finders keepers, but rather whoever is currently occupying and defending it.
Well, the last person occupying it that I saw was myself, so I guess it's mine.
Right, but that was a disturbance in time and space. I'm still not quite sure I understand what it is that we experienced.
I apologize. I went back afterwards while we were on the ship. I took a quick trip.
Also, he has like an army and has been building up some sort of plan here. So are we certain he's going to want to abandon it to go sit in an empty temple?
Well, it's more power than he has here. Honestly, it's the best thing for him to have. It strengthens his position exponentially.
There are others who visit that temple fairly regularly.
I mean, right. I can understand that for some people, psychic power requires crutches like temples to help trigger them. But do we want to actually give this general even more power? My understanding was him having power was part of the reason why we were dispatched here in the first place. And it might seem a little contrary to the spirit of what we were asked to do, to say, let's make it more powerful.
Right. And you know, even if we were to go along with this plan, which I am in agreement with Lord Mars, what makes you think, Lana, that he would acquiesce to your proposition?
Well, Mariana was the one who had the idea originally. It's something he can't resist and he has to go for. He needs it. He's desperate for it. But he has no way of accessing it.
Is there some point in the plan when we're like halfway temple when someone yells, "Get him," and we all just turn and start shooting?
Nowhere in the plan where someone who has precognition is supposed to hear it.
Gotta be a better way to deal with this precognition.
What would be the way to deal with him, though? We're vastly outnumbered by a superior force. And, as you can see, completely surrounded by it.
But we've got Gord.
Yes, but Gorn are vastly outnumbered as well. We're talking about thousands of people here.
You
We've
got
also
Shed Gorn.
Yeah, we've also got grenades and modern weapons against spears and slings.
That we know of. Looking out, can we see only spears and slings?
Make a notice roll.
Oh my god, I'm making rolls. Guys, I'm a real boy. Jesus. 2 6s, so that's 11.
You see spears and slings.
That is true. We are completely immune to fire, that type of firepower while in power armor.
Yeah, I'm not, but good for you.
Do you want a set of power armor?
No,
Okay.
just weighs you down.
Okay.
What's the plan?
Well, we've got an army of Gorn, and we've got 2 people who are immune to any attacks that these things can make, as far as we can tell.
3.
Right, Halgraith is also probably immune.
And Betty.
Is she wearing power?
Yep.
So wait, what is it that you're assuming I'm immune to, Lord Mars?
Slingstones and spears.
Yeah, that would not be particularly a cause of concern for me in this state. Thank the Book of Procedures.
Mariana, does the general have a way of bypassing our armor advantage?
He usually just knows what you're going to do, but I would assume that if you offered him this great power to distract him, he would be unable to handle 2 things at once.
But then we still have to get past his followers, correct?
They may be confused by what's occurring.
Do these people look like they could be confused easily?
Well, they can't quite deal with the slime ooze creatures. This has created a stalemate for them, so I'm guessing they're not that bright.
Well, they just don't seem to be advancing. As Peter pulls out his book from D&D and starts looking up spells that Mary Anna would know.
No, I just Marina basically says that if you offer him this power, he can't resist it, and he will want to come and see it and try to either take it or embrace it or whatever, and he will be distracted. and have a harder time predicting what you're going to do.
Well,
To
Lord
fuck,
Mars.
if his soldiers aren't going to attack, we'll just walk right through the midst of them. And we'll go and we'll make him this offer.
Okay.
And we won't tell our plans to the DM, so he won't be able to predict what we're actually going to do.
Right.
The DM, what's a DM?
So
Direct message.
you get off the boat.
I think he's reading our direct messages, so no one DM me.
Do
So
we
you-
get off the boat? Do
Yeah,
we?
Do you guys get off the
Yeah,
boat?
is there a role? And then should we do like athletics?
No, you don't have to do that unless you really want to.
Oh. Are we supposed to tell the DM we're getting off the boat? I'm not sure anymore.
So Flynn gets off the boat. He docks it, helps the Gorn. All his followers are like right up there watching you guys come in. He's like, back away, back away, back away. Yeah, man, it's all cool. It's all cool. And they slowly just kind of move out of the way. Do you follow him?
Yes.
Yes.
We'll tell Betty to, she's in charge of the Gorn.
Okay.
She can stay with the Gorn and direct them.
Jeez.
So you guys are walking, and they're just right next to you, watching you as you go by. One reaches out to touch Halcrave.
I quickly flick away their hand.
Do you do it like, get away from me, bastard, don't touch me, or do you do it just as like, don't?
Like a fly.
Okay, so not intimidating.
Right.
Okay, give me a notice roll.
Dun, dun, dun.
10.
So as you enter, you go down this walkway, these hovels, these little domes. You can see these guys are all crowded around doors on top of them watching you. You go by some body parts, which appears to be, they're covered in black ichor. Looks like one of these guys have been dismantled. And the guy's like, don't worry, man. Sometimes he gets a little crazy. Don't worry. And he leads up to a door, and he's like, go ahead. And he just stands at the door, and he kind of opens it and then just steps back, like, for you guys to walk in.
Okay.
So you enter this, like, dome little hut. No, it's not really a hut. This dome house. There's a light in the middle from some kind of lantern. There are books. There's a small radio microphone on the side. You can see it's turned on, some mumbling static. And a huge, like 6'8", 400-pound guy is kind of lounging on this couch.
Now, is he 6'8", like 400 pounds of like muscle, or like 6'8", like 400 pounds, like
Jabba the Hutt?
Jabba the Hutt?
He's like lineman quality.
Okay.
He's thick.
So the mountain. This is the mountain.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I was picturing him as Brando up to this point.
Well, everyone looked like Brando when he's just lying down there.
Well, Lana, I think you're on.
Okay. You knew we'd be here, didn't you?
Of course I did. It's kind of obvious.
Do you want it?
can tell you're not messengers from Diamond Quartz about a bean bear, Bill.
You're an errand boy sent by grocery clerks to collect a bill.
I don't think any of us particularly taken bean beer.
What is it you want? Lana.
Dun dun dun. No. You?
What about me? What do you want with me?
I want you.
Want me?
Yes.
Should we leave?
I don't understand. Why would we leave, Lord Mars?
It's getting awfully personal here.
All this wanting and bean beer. You have the. Do you know Diamond Quartz?
I know him.
Are you related at all?
No. Should we be? Why do you have a mackerel? Can I touch it?
Have you ever had the pleasure of surfing on a mackerel?
No.
There are a few things in life as visceral as putting your foot on a mackerel and riding the waves.
Give me a talk roll.
Give him a macro.
Snake eyes. So a 1.
I have no intent of offering me the mackerel.
Well, I suppose I could let you borrow it. What's do you know Flynn?
Yes.
He mentioned something about, he seems like a really big fan of yours. Seems like you haven't been around him in a while.
No. He doesn't visit as much as I'd like. Why do you like dusky blue?
Reminds me of a simpler time.
I'd like that.
Surely you've had one person, at least, that you can say without a doubt that you've loved before.
Yes.
That love, the color of it is dusky blue.
All right, Ori, here's a message. This is what you hear in your head.
Oh.
Halkraith is looking around so confused.
He,
Yeah, Lord Mars is right there with you. Dusky blue, mackerel. Lana wants this old devil dude.
so there's at least
Nothing about a temple, which is what I thought we were coming here to offer him.
I'm like already finished. He might have a great idea that I don't know about.
that's there's at least one other that we know of that has similar feelings.
You don't say.
Did you have a falling out?
You could say.
Is that why he wants you dead?
Among other things. When it's your time, it's your time.
I see you also watched the 50 tape video set.
Who do you think was behind the camera?
That's fair.
Wait, aren't cameras automated?
Well, there was some shaky cam in it for effect.
So, if you've known, did he feel the same way?
You never told me. But it looks like I will die without knowing. You come to kill me, let us begin.
Why do you wish to die?
Isn't that what you've come here for? Kill me?
Yeah, I do not think that his statement was a declaration of wanting to die, but rather to get on with whatever it is we came to do. More of a challenge, really.
We didn't come to kill you.
Did we not?
No, we came to bring him back alive to Diamond Courts. I said bring him back alive specifically.
We'd like you to come with us. I'm sure DQ would love to see you again.
I don't believe you.
He's the one who asked us to come here and come and get you. He specifically told us not to kill you or hurt you in any way if possible.
Those are lies.
What's a lie about it? Was he lying?
You're executioners.
If we were executioners, you'd already be dead. We have no desire to hurt you or kill you. Just to bring you back to him.
What do you have to offer?
What do you want?
Want to go to your temple again?
Is there something in particular that you're looking for?
I would like to lay in it and experience it for myself.
Wouldn't that experience be better with the warm hands of your ex-lover, Diamond Quartz?
Give me a talk roll.
If I can snake eyes this time. Not much. It's 2.
So with that, you can see he stands up in all his birthday suit glory. It looks pissed. Yeah, he starts to walk towards you guys. Slow, plodding steps.
I slip out of my shoes while he's coming and transform back into human Lana.
Okay, so you are back at the temple.
Yep. With my hand on him and him with me there.
Are you taking Ori with you?
I was talking about the general.
Right, you're taking the general with you.
Yes. The
Is,
general's coming.
is Ori with you?
Sure, Ori can come. And then there'll be a 4th person to join us. Diamond Courts.
So are me and Lord Mars just in that room by ourselves now?
Okay.
I thought Lord Mars is training his psychic talents.
Yeah, but Lord Mars doesn't need some temple. That is a crutch for the weak.
So, Lana, give me a D100 roll.
This device instead. 86. I use an online dice roller, so it's 100% correct.
We will go into initiative.
Uh-oh.
Nice.
I always forget. Is there anything that we add to the D8 roll?
Dex.
Dex.
Okay.
Man, I should just stop using this dice tower. That's BS.
That would have been fun taking him to the temple here.
Wow, those are a lot of sevens. Oh, okay.
2 from me.
Okay. Ori is completely confused about what's going on. Lord Mars.
Oh, am I rolling?
Yeah.
9.
Uh-oh.
All right, so we will go initiative order. Lord Mars, you just see Lana take off her shoes and she vanishes. You see the General Kosminski kind of take a step and pause. He grabs his head like this. His image begins to like shudder, but he is still there. He's just grabbing his head like that.
So crushable at the moment.
We don't
So
get paid
I
if he's
will.
dead.
I am going to take my mag rifle and find a chair and have a seat because I have no idea what's going on.
Okay. Halcrate.
Does Halgraith have, like, because I know as a player, I'm confused. And I feel like Halgraith is equally confused about what's going on.
I would just say my other possible reaction here is to say, oh no, the general just psychically disintegrated Lana because I have no idea that she could teleport away. So that my other option was kill him for killing Lana, but I decided I'm just confused.
Is Ori still there?
No, he's gone too.
Okay. Yeah, and the general's just kind of like this, and he's like flickering.
Yeah, his image is like like shimmering, you know.
Okay. This might be the distraction. So he would bring out his hammer and smash.
Okay.
And miss.
Okay. But you are a warrior, so you can automatically hit, right?
I can if I want to. I'm gonna save that for now.
Okay.
Because maybe it's a blessing that I missed. I don't know.
All right. So, Lana, you are at the temple with
Yes.
Ori and the general. Diamond Quartz is not there. You feel very, very tired. Like this took a lot of energy out of you.
This is where you wanted to be.
Precisely where I wanted to be.
Now what?
You leave me here and you return?
Will you come back with us to Diamond Quartz?
No.
Why is that?
So much, and he starts to like touch the walls of the pyramid. So much to learn here.
Also, Ori rolled badly.
What do you hope to learn here?
Everything.
About?
All the powers.
And what will you do with those powers?
Whatever I like.
Why are you so desperate for power?
Isn't everyone?
No, they're not.
That's a shame.
What happened that's made you so upset with everything going on in your life that you feel you have to have power?
Ori, you're up.
Ori, like, so he shows back up his the temple. No Tootsie Rolls are falling, right?
No, actually, no. There is no Tootsie Rolls that have fallen.
So the hot, humid jungle.
Actually, no. It's very dry, cool air.
It's normally hot and humid here. This is different. But there's only one different person here. Ori's not much for combat, so I guess I'll attempt to shoot the general.
Okay, go for it.
Hey, that probably hits. Hopefully. So I got my laser rifle, and that's a 18.
Okay. It looks like it's going to strike him, and he just kind of moves out of the way.
So he still takes 4 ricochet damage.
Whiplash damage.
Yeah. As he moves, his head whips back.
Yep.
And he's like, ah.
Damn this ponytail.
So he is in the temple. You see him he looks at you and just kind of smiles. Give me, both of you guys give me mental saves, Ori and Lana.
I'm not going to use that dice tower. Not afterwards. Damn it.
That's a pass.
Maybe
I'm going to use my action point to re-roll that.
Okay.
Use a different die. Yeah, that's much better. I pass.
So you feel like a racking, like high-pitched noise come through your head, and it just kind of, you're allowed to pass. It doesn't set in, and it goes away. Lord Mars and Halcraith, give me evasion roll.
I'm sitting. Does that give me some sort of penalty?
No.
I'm gonna.
I failed.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm not gonna use the hustle point yet. I failed as well.
All right. You guys there's like a gust of wind. He reaches his hand like this, and there's a gust of wind, and you're pushed back. You go sliding across the room and slam into the wall of this dome. Like,
It would have to be very strong wind to knock a 1,200-pound rock back.
it is, yes. You take 2 damage.
We never healed from the last time, right? Because
You should be at like max HP because there was a lot of RP and there was it took time to get here and everything.
okay.
Like 3 days to get here.
So yeah, you slam up against the inside of this dome, and you probably crack the wall of it. And Lord Mars, you just go sliding off that chair and back and hit it up against the wall. You are now up. A couple of his native guys kind of like peek into the door after they were blown away also because it went right through the door was open. So a couple of them like peeking in to see what's going on.
So are we like pinned against the wall, or we were just knocked back?
Just a gust of wind, yeah.
Okay. All right. I will. How far away is the general from me?
You are 10 meters.
Okay. I'm just gonna still sort of braced up against the wall, raise my rifle and begin to line up an execution attack. It'll take me a minute.
Okay.
Because I still don't know that this is anything to be concerned about. All I know is Lana took Ori away, and the general presumably is still gripping his head.
All right. Halcrate.
So his minions peek in and do what?
They don't do anything, just kind of peek in to see what happened.
And there's a lot of minions out there, right?
Oh, yeah. There's at least 100, 200 of them.
Is the door seem like they could break it? Or what's the door made of?
So it was like a wood door, but it was open. The gust of wind did not push it open, or it was already open. So
Is it open in or out?
it opens in, so it was folded in, so it just pushed against the wall.
Okay. So Halcraith would go over, knock them back and shut the door.
Okay.
And then kind of stand in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Let them try and bash it down with 1,200 pounds of rock in front of it.
All right.
You need athletics or anything?
You can just do exert.
6.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have, the strength that you have, so you're easily able to just move them away. They just back away, and you close the door right against it. So.
Okay. Do I still have actions left, or is that it?
Yeah, you could do an action.
Okay. So then, since I can't get in close, do I still have the advanced laser rifle that I got from the thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
So I would pull that out and do burst fire on the general.
Okay.
That's a miss, but I'm just going to turn it into a hit because fuck this guy. Gonna blow wind at us. I'll show him.
So falls in your direction.
15 damage.
Okay. So he, looks like he tries to move out of the way of this burst fire and fails. The bullets strike, the rounds strike him. It's a laser rifle, so you see these tiny little holes, and he starts to bleed. He reaches down and touches it with his hand and looks at it and smiles. Lana, you see that as you look over at the general, you see that he has some wounds and he is starting to bleed. But nobody in here shot him. Well, at least Ori tried to shoot him. Maybe it was him.
I didn't want to have to do this. But you've decided you'd rather suffer than be happy. And I fire best fire of my rifle at him. That's 22 to hit.
Yep.
Nice. That's 15 points of damage.
Okay.
No, 17, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And I just look sadly at him.
He smiles at you as you hit him. He begins to bleed some more, touching the wounds. Ori.
I guess I'll shoot him again. I don't have anything better I can do. I feel like I should hone my psychic powers so that maybe if I'm near the temple, I could actually use something. That definitely didn't hit. So shot goes wide, but it bounces off of a tree and hits, bounces back at the general and does 1 damage.
Yeah, so this long ricochet that takes like 6 seconds. Ding, ding, dong, dong, ding. It comes back in and strikes him. How much?
1 damage. It just singes his nipple.
The left one or the right one?
The middle one.
So Hal and Lord Mars, you see him take more injuries and begin to bleed, and he does touch his nipple. I don't know how you interpret that, but
What's a nipple?
I just assume this is all part of Lana wanting him.
Ori and Lana, give me mental saves again.
I need to pick a better die. Jesus Christ. Maybe this one. Yeah, it's a nat 20.
15 passes.
Ori, you take no damage. Lana, you take 2 hit points. Again, you hear like a high-pitched sound in your head. You get a little bit of blood on your snout. Oh no,
I'm
you're
human.
actually
I'm human.
yeah, human. Okay.
Yep. It's all good.
The general just smiles. You can see him smile here. Hal and Lord Mars. And he kind of grits his teeth and give me mental saves. We know that Lord Mars is awesome.
I failed as well.
You hear like this loud, piercing sound in your head. You take 5 damage.
He's absolutely brilliant. He's so good at combat. He's disappeared.
Okay, so we're back to the top of the lineup. Lord Mars.
Did Ori get to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I am still lining up my execution attack, so 8 more rounds.
Okay. Hellcraith.
Continued fire with the burst fire rate of the rifle.
All right.
And fail. I'm changing out these dice. You know what? I'm going to use a hustle point to reroll that. Natural 20.
All right.
All right, so what do I do now? D100?
Yeah, and it's double damage. Double the dice.
Double your fun.
2.
That's the D100 roll?
Yeah.
Okay. You look cool doing it.
Okay. But still double damage dice?
Yep.
Do I also double the bonuses or just the dice?
Just the dice.
Okay. 20 damage.
So he looks in really bad shape. He is just bleeding everywhere. He can't control like the spurts of blood coming out at this point. But he still seems to have a smile on his face, and he doesn't look like he's in any pain. Lana.
Well, Mike just reminded me of something which I didn't think about. I have hustle points still.
Yes, because you never use them.
I know. And I did have an idea for it.
Okay.
I will hustle point my way to have diamond quartz here.
Fucker. All right. Diamond quartz appears.
You see, he's here.
So Diamond Quartz looks over at the general, bleeding, Both of them exchange glances. Ori.
Diamond Quartz, is there anything he wouldn't come back?
We're in quite a predicament here. I didn't expect to be taken away, whisked away at this time. Why have you presented me with such a conundrum?
You might at least General Kosminski shares some feelings which I wholly appreciate towards you. So at the very least, thought it would be good for him to at least see you one last time, if in the event you couldn't convince him to be less hard-headed.
I will give you a talk roll, and you get a bonus dice.
A bonus what?
Bonus die. So roll 3 and drop the lowest one.
Yeah. That's an 8.
You also are an expert, so you can technically re-roll these checks if you like. Once per scene.
He looks generally, what's the word? Concerned about how injured that the general looks, and that kind of bothers him. And he reaches over and starts to like touch the wounds, and you can see that they are exchanging glances. Lord Mars is still Lord Mars. It looks like something is. It looks like the general is reaching out for something like that's not there, and then you see his, as you're looking at him, like for your shot, you see that like blood is stopping, like something is stopping the blood. You see like the image of a handprint on him.
Okay. I continue lining up my shot.
Okay. How
7
great.
more rounds.
All right. Continuing my fire at first. That's a 19.
Okay.
$11 damage.
So the general is sitting there, and he's reaching out for something, and you can see like a handprint on him, and it looks really weird. And his eyes drop, and he like grabs something. Lana and Ori, you see Diamond Quartz just drop as he has taken shots in the back. Like, oh my God, I've been hit upon. And he starts to bleed.
General, you can end this right now. Just come back with us. No one has to get hurt, please. Come back with us and we can bring you two back together.
Just leave us here. We'll be fine. You return.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Will we have to bring him from where he is now to you?
No. I will return.
Okay.
With him?
Yes.
Goodbye for now, General. Perhaps we'll meet again in the future.
He just kind of smiles and then looks back at the Diamond Quartz.
And I will bamf me and Ori out of there.
Okay. So yeah, you appear back with Lord Mars and Halcraith. The general, his body, what you guys see is a general reaching out and holding onto something, and the general just vanishes and disappears. Josh, do you need to go?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Everything's done, though. It's all taken care of. Ori, you explain it. Bye! And Lana disappears.
Yeah. The door bursts open, and these natives look in and look around.
Well,
And
I'm still standing there, so even if it bursts open.
Oh, okay. I thought you had moved. I'm sorry.
No.
So they are like, you can feel them on the door now, like pushing, trying to get the door open. They're like, wham, wham, wham.
How big? I mean, I know how big I am, but how big am I compared to the door?
You take up most of the door.
Okay. Because I can see the door shattering around me, and I'm trying to like reach in or something around me.
Yeah. So they're pushing at the door. There's still blood on the ground where the general was, and kind of like impressions of where he was standing. There's a window in this place, and the window is smashed, and one of these natives come pushing through, and you see the glass cut him, and he flops down onto the ground. He runs over and jumps on the couch and does this and starts bouncing on the couch. Another one comes through, squirming through the hole, falls on the ground and tackles him, and they both go rolling onto the ground. And they're starting to come through this window.
Maybe we should leave and let them have the couch.
Yeah.
I get on my comm and say, Betty, light them up. Kill everything you can see.
Yeah. No problem, mate. I got it. And you just hear explosions outside. Boom, 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 boom.
So I imagine that as the windows start breaking open, like people are like now like just wrestling over the couch and like one after the other, like a maddening game of King of the Hill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's basically what it is. They're fighting over this couch. One stands on there, another one tackles him.
So I'll say the general's gone. Well, he's at the temple along with Diamond Quartz. Lana brought both of them there together. The general seemed to always be smiling, so perhaps this is what he knew this all along would be this way to reunite with Diamond Quartz once again.
But was that wise to give the general that power that he was seeking?
Well, we were only here at Diamond Quartz's request anyway, so as long as Diamond Quartz is happy, we are going to have to explain to Marina that her would-be boyfriend is shacking up with the general again.
Yes, but perhaps she will not mind joining them.
Could be a menage a trois. He did say that in his poem earlier, so maybe it was just talking about him. You know, he really does know the future. I gotta say, I wasn't really expecting much, but he really blew me away. So I'll give him that.
All right, so are you guys gonna ask Graham out of the area or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a fight over the couch. The natives don't seem to bother you. They're just in chaos, running around, like scrambling, running into the main dome where the general was. Some of them are all bloodied as more explosions and random grenades are being thrown. It's absolute bedlam. You get into the boats and head out. You can use the totem to get back, right? Didn't I give you a totem you can get back?
It sounds familiar. It sounds like did you give it to us like right as we set off from
Yeah. Yeah, it was the totem that looked like the one from. He said he got it on vacation at some place, some kind of shadow place. It's the Brady Bunch totem. So use the totem, I would assume, instead of going through all this bullshit.
I liked the long river of days of traveling, of
Yes.
ice and witches and.
Yeah, who knows what Hellcraft could turn into on the way back.
So you well, figure out if you take the Gorn or not.
Or what's left of the Gorn.
What's left of the Gorn? What's left of your group teleports back.
Can we? I mean, well, I don't know that we need to take all the Gorn back up north or not. We can't fit more than a couple of them onto the ship and maintain life support.
Probably the main, the actual named Gorn. Jed and Sim. You teleport back to, I believe, Benji's area there, the teleportation circle. He sends you back to the orbiting spaceship. The shuttle. And we'll just a couple things I need to play for you before we stop. Just catch you up. So as he is up there, as you talk to George, who is from corporate, and pretty much already knows that you have been successful, and he informs you that there is a Sindoom battleship in the sector, in Murmuration. So you probably want to be careful when you leave. And he says, you probably need to listen to this.
All right, so I think all our fights should basically be Lana teleports them to the temple, and then Lana comes back and leaves them there. At least all of our hard fights should end that way. Especially for the non-psychics, then there's no risk whatsoever. They just starve to death in this temple.
I don't know. It does rain Tootsie Rolls there, so they get something.
Oh.
Survive on, then they die of diabetes.
Oh, here we go. All right.
It takes longer.
Back here. So the guy from corporate will play you this stuff. So says there's some stuff that's happened since you've been on the planet.
This is Stanley Mann for Lausanne. I'm here at Azorda Atrix as the last day of the ICAAOS 273 is wrapping up. Negotiations, I am told, were heated but civil between UPM and Sindoom for the past 42 hours. UPM wanted answers to the Eclipsing Mind and the attack on Nur, while Sindoom accused UPM of sabotaging their drone fleet and coordinating a prison break, also staging the attack on Nur. It's unclear what kind of resolution they... Wait. Here comes President Cordoadana right now, and we will now have the transfer of power and a new ICAAOS president.
Thank you for your patience. It's been a trying and difficult time these past few days.
Just keep it down.
I want to assure you that everyone here has the best interest of the sector in mind as we forge ahead to a peaceful and brighter tomorrow. Without further ado, it is time to name the new ICAAOS president for 273. That will lead us to that hopeful tomorrow. In an 8-to-1 vote, I hereby transfer my power, privileges, and the sacred oath of St. Helen Evil to Dr. Jaggerfells.
What the fuck?
Yeah, thanks, Corda.
Not this asshole.
Yeah, you done a mediocre job at best. So yeah, bye. Ship's waiting. Don't worry. I got all your stuff back.
Have all the luck.
You can just no.
This guy's a bum.
I really didn't want this
Go back
job.
to Sindoom.
Hell, I didn't want to come here, but it seems certain powers that want to make my life live in hell. And I had this simple Linux project talk about restore life on dead barren rocks that some of you may live on, but no. You want to make cause problem.
Whatever, Jagger fails.
So in the ICAAOS Infinite Wisdom, they've named me president.
You suck!
So I can put these things back where they should be, and we can move forward. You know, progress. You like that, right?
I like a symbol.
And when I found out this position, you know, it's got a lot of power.
You suck!
And a lot of you morons will follow whatever I say as president. So here goes. Ready? You're good. Pay attention. Yeah. Number 1, under Article 4, Section 2 of the ICAAOS chapter, I declare all ICAAOS outpost personnel official Syndoom affiliates. Yeah. No more flashlights for our guys there. Yeah. You guys are getting real weapons and real mission to do. You know, just
getting real guns
not like
now?
checking the books and crap like that. Second, under Article 4, Section 6 of that, well, whatever, UPM. Duh. And its associated conspirators like, the IAI and Sorry Not Sorry and Wholesale Warts and Lausanne and Chen Tower and Backdoor Boogers and the rest of you miscreants, you're done. Are declared enemies of the sector.
Nice, that's what I'd
I'll be
like to
watching your
hear
ass
there,
and,
President Feld.
with a close eye, I'll have bounties out for you, Give some money if you bring them in. Finally, under Article, nobody cares at this point. I'm appointing the Yellow Lens and the Church Atlas as supervisors of UPM's quadrant. And, that's not all. I guess one more thing. Don't call me president. More like Lord Fells. Yeah, that's appropriate. And the last name has one L in it, and incorrect spelling is, you get it wrong, that's death. And another thing.
This is Stanley Mann. I can't believe what I just heard. I mean,
Per ICAAOS, Lord Jagger Fells, this broadcast and all further broadcasts are no longer authorized. Lausanne is now deemed an enemy of the sector.
All right. And here is the next one. Hopefully this is right. This is an approved update for all of Helena Evo. Just outside Syndoom sits the magnificent spaceport where all the big battleships come in for inspection, and a little R&R for the crew on board. Lord Fells makes a surprise visit to the Devil's Dance to inspect the ship and the valuable cargo. He's happy with what he sees. Just wait, he says. In a few weeks, everyone will be able to spike drive throughout the sector, and we won't need that nasty borax. No more strip mining in horrible conditions. For our workers, everybody wins in this exchange. Time to pack your bags and travel among the stars on the cheap. Thanks, Lord Fells. Next, he congratulates the crew of the Memory Remains for a job well done, vanquishing those who would bring dissension to all of the Helena Evo sector. Wear those medals with pride, soldiers. Last, Lord Fells gets a quick tour of the imposing battleship Disposable Heroes, who have returned from the far reaches of the cosmos, keeping everyone safe from danger. Lord Fells even has time to promote the captain. Congratulations! You're Admiral Hartfield now. Wear those stripes with pride. All right. That is all.
Wow. Interesting.
So we will have to, just change our name to something else, and everyone will need a new name.
Yeah. That's what companies do all the time, right? Or go down, close that company down, and start a new one, different name, same people.
If there's going to be a bounty on us on Wholesale War, then sure, just new name. Plus, the whole Lord title is kind of over now that Fels has taken it. So
Well, maybe we can give some thought to a new company name. Or at least one to put on the business cards.
exactly. It's not like I don't even know where if the company's incorporated, I don't even know where. So we'll just call ourselves something new.
How about
Probably,
the Stonebangers?
Stonebangers.
Yeah, so something new. Probably want to maybe paint the outside of the ship a different color.
And the battleship that the guy mentioned is out there is the Disposable Heroes.
You probably want to give that a wide berth since there's a bounty on us now.
The Backdoor Boogie did say that one of the other things that they said is that Sindoom was touting that they had lots of battleships, but they actually don't. They had like 3. For what it's
Yeah,
worth.
that's the one good thing. I mean, nothing good really ever came from Jagger Fells, but he did put a bounty out on Backdoor Boogie, so that's 1 plus. Even a broken clock.
They seem like all right people, They but definitely not as cool as Wholesale or as prestigious.
So with that, I think we climb on our ship.
Yeah, we can pick it up next time from there. As you guys have finally made it to level 4.
Ooh. Now I have to figure out how to level up again.
You have to reroll all your hit points, and you don't really get that much at level 4. You get your skill points for the level. So 3 more skill points.
By the way, Peter, if there was no way to reverse the curse, Halkraith was going to jump into the water and end it, but I imagine then he would have become some kind of ice golem.
Actually, but wouldn't that have reminded you of your old state then? You'd be this ice creature rather than a rock creature.
You were going to do a Petrie?
Yeah.
That would have been kind of fun.
Although Petrie killed himself in hopes that something would save him, Halkraith would just be trying to kill himself to end it.
True.
And just perhaps happen to have stumbled upon something new.
Yeah.
There is the subtle difference in DM styles is that I don't think Peter would actually let you kill yourself. I think you would miraculously survive. Which ironically is what Brendan was hoping for, that he would miraculously survive. And Mike was like, nope.
Nope. You want to kill yourself? Well, I'm not going to.
Okay, man, you fall into the acid and you melt.
Yeah, if Halkraith jumped
Right. It was not only are you actually dead, but here's a little extra body horror before you go.
I mean, if you did jump into the river and say you could have iced over, and if you filled so much with water, it could have been a permanent a permafrost. So you could have been an ice golem.
Yeah.
Which would have been a cool thing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as we were doing the curse. I was like, I wonder what would have happened had we not found this.
Back to rockin'.
Yep.
That was definitely not what I was expecting. I thought you just straight up kill the guy.
Well, I honestly have to say, like, I was unaware we were supposed to bring him back alive, but then Lana said, no, we were told not to hurt him unless we absolutely had to. So it was like, all right, well, then I guess we're not going to shoot him. Guess we're going to try to talk him into coming with us.
That is
Marina told us that we could easily get him to come with us by just saying we'd take him to the temple, which, I mean, Lord Mars has no reason to think that's not necessarily true, but he was unaware that Lana can now just teleport to the temple whenever she wants. So he was thinking we'd have to go back to the ship and fly this guy to the temple.
It's like a different temple. It's like the same temple, but it's not like desolate space temple. It's like in a jungle temple, but it's the same one. So it's like a different point in time or different multiverse.
You would know that the Traveler marked 15 places that have these temple/pyramids. From his PowerPoint, from his overhead projector, which you provided with a transparency.
Yes.
So unfortunately, my hit points only went up by the minimum possible +1.
Well, there is no hit point adjustment at level 4.
Oh, is that like a house rule for you?
Yeah.
Well, then I don't get the +1.
Well, you should have max for 3 levels.
So we also don't get the 2 that I would get from Die Hard and all that stuff.
I didn't know that you got hit points from Die Hard. Is that you get up every level?
Then I actually go up by 3 because I was not at max hit points. I was rolling.
Oh, okay.
I was using the rules that are in the advancement section.
Hell with those rules.
Where you roll every level, you roll like another.
Yeah.
You re-roll all your hit points every level.
Yeah, no, I
You can't go lower than what you had, and you.
I'll have to think about.
One.
Yeah, I'll think about that, Mike.
Yeah, because for Die Hard, I get an extra 2 maximum hit points per level. And then also Warriors get an additional 2 hit points per character level as one of their class features.
Right.
So my hope is that you can coordinate with the other group in some form or fashion, as you kind of are in the same timeline. As in, you kind of were like 2 weeks behind, but I moved you up after being on that planet.
Maybe, well, I at least know that Big Montana can go to that temple. Mm-hmm. So, like, maybe we could do some sort of, like, equivalent of, like, the street signs. Like, with, like, the street urchin background or whatever it is, like the criminal background where you can, like, leave messages or read the signs.
Okay, yeah.
Some like kind of form for this world. So like we could leave each other messages at the bare minimum.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Then you wouldn't have to worry about it being intercepted.
Yeah. What page is the advancement stuff?
56.
56.
So we get 3 skill points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Yeah, maybe I get, I guess, it'd be kind of cool to do something psychic related, since I have some sort of penchant for it. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious if there's, and we don't have to work it out here, but maybe we can work it out over email. like something that I can kind of add to it.
Yeah.
To kind of grow in that. Like I know you can like multi-class or whatever they call it.
Can you? Is there a multi-class option?
You can do like partial, like you can be like a partial. You can
There's
like
partial warrior, I know.
There's a partial psychic too. There's like a partial of each. I thought you would. I would think that you'd be able to pick that like later on. Maybe you wouldn't have to require it at the beginning, but maybe that's not true. Maybe it's just.
Yeah, partial psychic is its own class. It's a class option for adventurers.
We might be able to. Well, we can work out something. But yeah, this campaign might move into overdrive, and it may be over sooner than I thought, considering how the other group's going. They seem hell bent on wrecking Sindhu.
Yeah, I don't have anything actually against Sindhu. I mean, I get that they're bad, but I don't get that it's my problem. It's like I get that North Korea is bad, but I, Kurt, don't really feel like I've got to take down North Korea.
Alrighty then.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for playing.
Yep. Take care, everyone.
See you
See ya.
soon.